ancient beast, flames consume but never feast. Metal wings slice the void apart. A funeral pyre, a rocket's heart. Does the air tear or does it yield? What's the cost of the battlefield? Volcasonic retro propulsion, firefights fire in the sky's combustion. The plasma storms and blackout seas, gravity chains snap with. Red rivers, burning trails, echoes scream where silence fails. Ashes rain, the sky won't care, but we keep climbing unaware. EJ in his rocket chair, blasting curveballs through the air. Space tape, duct tape, pull the tight, orbital mechanics all night. Wrench in hand, he'll fix a rhyme. 1995, finish prime, rusted balls, car reborn, screaming engines greet the moon. Orbit King, he's on the screen. Polka beats the punk machine, welding dreams and cosmic streams. EJ's flying through the sea. Vacuum suits and space news chatter. Satellite, they climb the ladder. Black hole, lost gold, and solar flare. He's the captain of these cosmic affairs. Restoration streams at dawn, turning trash to treasure strong. A hubcap here, a piston there. He's the Twitch King with the space age flair. Jebediah, don't you cry. EJ's here to touch the sky. From Kerbin's orbit to deep space flight, he'll build it wrong, but he'll get it right. We'll get it right. Don't get away.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review and Starship Rocket Review. Actually, we got a bunch of other news in here other than the glorious Flight 11 Starship flight from Monday. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Orange whip. 3 orange whips. We read you loud and clear. All right, excellent. All right, cool. Have you seen the drone's image of the Starship solution? Oh, yeah. I've seen all the good stuff. Have you? I've seen all good people. At this fight, I'm on my way. Yeah. Have you seen all good people? seen things. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire on the shoulder of Orion. I've seen sea beams glisten in the dark outside the 10-house gate. All those moments would be lost in time, like tears in rain. Yeah, well, you're not throwing a Blade Runner reference past me. That's not happening. That's not happening. All right, anyway. Welcome to the Rocket Review, everybody. Whoa, where'd you get from you, Dante? Oh, what up, Mr. Cheezel? Do Kerbals have necromancers because somehow Jeb's alive? Yeah, you saved Scum Aurora. It's okay. There's no shame in admitting it. There's no shame in admitting it. It's fine.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's fine. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thoughts about the fire in the nose at landing. All right. There is some other cool stuff that you guys probably want to see, but that you guys would probably want to see. So I'm going to dump through that stuff real quick, and then we'll get right to Starship. So check this out. I woofed that food way too fast. All right. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go. So, Vast posted this yesterday. 2 Haven 1 primary structures, a qualification in the flight article, side by side at Vast headquarters in Long Beach, California. All built in-house. Vast is bringing space station development back to the United States. Back to the U.S. So, to launch the world's first commercial space station and ensure a continuous American presence in low Earth orbit. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. We should have made this bargain. So they said that, let's see, the qualification in the flight article. Which one is the flight article? Twins, Basil. Twins. Is that legal? I will make it lethal. Talk is cheap, show you the hardware. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that this one is the flight article and that over there is the qual. Just because this one doesn't have billet. The billet cone right here is, I don't know why that one is smooth and that one's not. Either way, this pad and that pad. Yeah, this one looks a lot more, I don't know. Let me take a look. Let's see. Which one is the flight article and which one isn't? This one's the flight article. They wouldn't see that one has the bubble installed. This is the qualification article. Those things are mass simulators for COPV mounts. That's to get the mounts right for a composite overwrap pressure vessel. The propulsion systems. There's going to be a bunch on the sides. That's what those things are. They're Pathfinder simulators or jigs so you can get the COPV mounts correct. Flight article is the one without the door for the equipment install. Yeah, that's the qualification article over here. This guy is the real deal. That's the one getting launched into space, I think. Are you optimistic on the timeline to Mars? Let's take it step by step. Step by step, schmong. Step by step, schmong. Yeah. Archie, you just saw a video where the guy said the thing he made is for Jared Isaacman. Not sure if I can mention it at all, but I can say Jared does have nice taste in stuff used in 80s action movies. That's Brendan Herrera. And from what chat was telling me, it sounds like he made Rook a MP5 SD, delayed roller bearing action. You can talk about guns here, dude. I don't care. It doesn't. Don't be violent, and you can talk about them. Just another mechanical system. But yeah, don't be weird about it. You know what I'm saying? VA belt fed. Belt fed's like, hey. I mean, I was playing Battlefield last night. We're good, man. Just don't be weird about it, you know? Is that the AK-50 guy? Yes, that's Brendan Herrera. Yes, the AK-50 guy. Yep, yep. The left one's also further behind in construction. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, Vast is looking to build. Well, not looking. They're building a commercial space station to send up for a commercial destination for NASA. It's pretty awesome. This is the first time like a space station module has been built in the U.S. in a long time. The last space station module that was built here, like end to end built here, was Skylab. Now I know what people are saying. Well, what about the ISS? Most of the ISS pressure vessels, these things were made by Thales Alenia in Italy, and then they were assembled here. They weren't entirely made here, which is super cool. That's really neat. And Vast actually has, just quick side note, Vast has docking ports front and back on these modules so they can be chained together. Yeah, you can make like a long train of Vast space station modules, which is pretty cool. Good stuff. Yeah, Venturing, I've seen that. Anyway, let's jump to the next bit. So this is from Lockheed Martin Space. That's still cool, man. Look at that. Lockheed Martin Space, stacked and ready for launch. Our 21 Tranche 1 Transport Layer C satellites are prepared for launch. Soon they'll join Space Development Agency's Proliferated Warfare Space Architecture, PWISA. So this is a launch that's actually happening in 45 minutes, I believe. 48 minutes and change. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, they got spikes. They're spiky satellites. Pretty cool. Weather permitting, that is. Yep. No, it's fine, Archie. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, this is Space Development Agency. That's a government payload. Proliferated Warfare Space Architecture. So that is a military communications satellite. That's the Proliferated Warfighter Space Architecture. That sounds way nicer. Communication. Yeah, it does stuff. That does things. That do stuff. Anyway, next space news. Let's not read any more into that. So this one's coming from Spaceflight Now. Check this out. The Department of Air Force approved SpaceX's proposal to increase its launch cadence of Falcon 9 rockets from Vandenberg up to 100 and add Falcon Heavy capabilities to Slick 6. SpaceX will build 2 new landing zones south of the launch pad. Yep. Slick 6. So Slick 6 is one of my favorite launch pads, guys. The reason why is, well, most of you guys that are space nerds know this, but in case anybody out there doesn't know this, they built an entire functioning shuttle launch pad at Vandenberg in California in the early to mid 80s. A fully operational shuttle launch pad. And they finished it it was finished and ready to go. It passed fitment checks as you can see from this picture. It had passed fitment checks in late 1985, only for the Air Force to promptly abandon the project because they pulled out of the shuttle program after Challenger in early 1986. They built a $2 billion shuttle launch pad, $2 billion in 1985, by the way. $2 billion shuttle launch pad and all of its accoutrement, and then never used it. These are all pictures from them putting together the stack for fitment. I have a lot of really nice pictures of the complex here. So the pad did end up getting used for some Athena missile launches, and then it has been the home of Delta IV Heavy for the last 20 years. The last Delta IV Heavy mission went out of Slick 6 last year, and since then, SpaceX has the lease to it. Now, what sucks is that, I mean, it's cool that they're putting Slick 6 to use, and it's really cool that, you know, rockets are going to launch from it. Not only are they going to launch from it, a lot of rockets are going to launch from it. That's really cool. I dig that. However, SpaceX's plans to do it involve basically demoing all of the shuttle hardware. Pretty much like everything you see on the screen in this shot, including the former shuttle integration building, the shuttle mobile service tower, the shuttle fixed service structure, and the launch plate. The launch plate is it's configured for Delta IV right now. That was when it was configured for the space shuttle. It will not be a Starship pad. It will be for Falcon Heavy. We were robbed, I tell you. West Coast shuttles would have been awesome. Yep. Also, they're filling in this side of the flame trench. So there's a split diverter in here. Originally, you had 3 trenches. You had one for the shuttle main engines, which went around a corner and went out the side. And then you had 2 on either side for the SRBs. This was filled in with concrete in the 90s. Zone C, D, and E were all filled in. They were filled in with concrete, and Delta has since been using, yeah, see, there's the mount on either side. Delta has since been using left and right, but for SpaceX's integration buildings to go, they're going to build a hangar right here, and then a transporter erector avenue. And in order to do that, they're going to fill in the flame trench. Well, not fill it in. They're going to put their transporter erector hydraulics inside of it, like they did at 39A. But the mobile service tower, mobile assembly shelter, the launch plate, the fixed service structure are all going to get leveled. But they are going to build some landing pads there, which is pretty cool. Your collection of photographs. Oh, yeah, you like that? Yeah. Yeah. That sucks. So, fun fact about Slick 6. The mobile service tower at Slick 6 is one of the oldest pieces of... it's one of the oldest continuously operational mobile service towers. It's older than Complex 39. The reason why I'm talking about... hold on. That thing. The reason why it's older than everything is it was built in the mid-60s. The reason why it was built in the mid-60s is because this was supposed to be the Air Force's launch site for the Gemini Manned Orbiting Laboratory program. So they built it all out. They built out an integration building, a bridge crane, and a launch pad for it, and they never used it. And then the pad was abandoned in the late 60s. And then, like I said, in the 80s, they retooled it. They retooled the entire launch site for the space shuttle, finished building out the pad, built a fully operational pad. They were doing deluge tests, guys, when the Air Force said, nah, never mind. They were doing pad deluge tests, and then promptly never used it. Yep. So SpaceX's new HIF that they want to construct would be right here. And they would build a crawlerway, so to speak, here. Get rid of this. Put the hydraulics for the transporter erector down in the trench, and whoop, and then use this side of the trench for the flame diverter. Gemini and yeah, manned orbiting laboratory, peaceful lab. It's a spy satellite. Yeah, I mean, you know that. It's a spy satellite. Before they invented fully remote spy satellites, the spy satellite was a space station, and the guys would just take the film canisters and bring them back down on a Gemini capsule. That was their idea. And then they invented full fully remote stuff. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. I have many pictures from Slick 6. We went digging one day and found all this good stuff. So that's the diverter that they would be using, and the other one they're gonna build a crawlerway here, and then a bridge, and then the hydraulics are gonna move the transporter erector here. So Falcon Heavy would be left core, middle core, right core. It would be this way, and then it would use the trench that way. Do they allow photographers at Vandenberg? From far enough away, sure. Why does the shelter and tower have to be demoed? They look out of the way. They're useless. So if you get rid of the servicing structure and you get rid of the launch frame, they're pretty useless. RB, I had thought, I had figured that, why build the HIF over there? Why not build the HIF right here and then roll the stack this way and then turn it upright on the, why wouldn't you do that, right? Like, why not do it that way? They can't. There's, hell, what was the reason? Oh, this building, the assembly building, a Falcon Heavy would be, well, actually, no, that should be able to work. Why do this when Falcon Heavy rarely launches? I don't know. There was another reason why we didn't want to, why they didn't do this. I think, oh yeah, that's right. You can't fit the HIF over here. You can't fit it over here. You'd have to, even if they wanted to turn it this way and turn Falcon 9 this way, or Falcon Heavy this way and have the 3 cores that way instead of this way, you'd still have to get rid of this. It's not long enough, dudes. It's not long enough. So the other thing is that there's an integration facility down here that L3 Harris uses to do stuff with. I don't know. This building was originally designed for basically loading up spy satellites into a payload changeout device that could install it inside of the shuttle's payload bay. So the Air Force leased this facility out. So the right move would have been to build the HIF right here and then just roll it back that way and erect it. But yeah, you'd still have to demolish the building that says USAF on it anyway. So SpaceX would also need to dig into the ground right here to put hydraulics down so they could get the TE upright, and you can't. There's just solid concrete there. There's nothing to dig into because some bonehead decided to fill in the freaking shuttle flame trench with concrete. Yeah, they're gonna put the HIF over here and then fill in a crawlerway that goes this way, and it's basically gonna follow right over that duct. They're going to get rid of this duct and they're going to seal it off, and they're going to use it for the hydraulics to push the transporter erector upright. And then they're going to completely demolish the pad plate and then retool it for Falcon Heavy. It is wide enough. I do have, like I showed you guys, I have shots of the diverter. Yeah, see, it's wide enough. It's wide enough for 3-core Falcon 9 all day. They made them really big because the SRBs put out a lot of gas. Did ULA dig its own flame trench for Delta 4? No, they utilized the left and right flame trenches. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Just little, not a deep dive, just a little dive. Just a little dive here. Just a little, not a deep one, not a deep dive. Just a little dive. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Just a little dive here. So here it is when it was in Delta 4 configuration. Yeah, the two buildings kind of enclose on each other, so you could build a stack. You can build a stack vertically completely indoors. It was a mistake, Rem. Yeah, the buildings move. Oh, that's so cool. There could have been a shuttle stack there, man. Let's see. Do flames come out both sides here? I can't play the music. Watch over there. Does it? Yeah, it does. It shoots out both. Yeah, it shoots out both sides. See the flames on either side? Oh, mama. But dude, look, that thing isn't even close to filling that damn trench up. Yeah, Delta 4 was pretty cool. It lit itself on fire. See? Hydrogen burn off. There should have been a shuttle launch from here, damn it. All out of view of spy satellites, adversaries would have had no idea when a shuttle was going to launch, pop the buildings open between one pass and the other, close it back up. Time it right, and you wouldn't even get a picture of it on the runway. Yeah, I know. It's a really smart idea. We probably should have used it, Aqualux. It's pretty good, you know. What's up? Got chat? Anybody? What's $2 billion? $1985 in today's money? What is that? I'm be curious to see how much of a waste of money that was. Inflation calculator. All right, let's see. CPI inflation calculator for October, all right, January 1980, well, it would have been December 1985. So, okay. How about let's try that. $6 billion. Anyway, I got more good news. Here, let's keep going. So yeah, SpaceX is building out Slick 6, and they're going to demo everything, and they're going to build it for Falcon Heavy. They're also building new landing pads, which is super cool, for Falcon Heavy, side boosters to land. That's really neat. I do appreciate that. Okay, cool. Next bit of news before I get annoyed. Relativity has released their Q3 update. And yeah, you know, you guys know the drill. We can't listen to it because it has audio in it. So We will close caption. We will close caption this thing. Terran R update September 2025. Welcome back to another Terran R update. Let's dive in and recap key milestones from September. This month, the team completed 19 component level critical design reviews, mainly focused on the second stage vacuum engine and secondary structural trays and manifolds. There's a key focus on releasing all second stage components ahead of manufacture. This closed caption sucks. And the fluids team released more than 150 machine components in September. First stage tank welding continues with 3 circumferential friction stir welders welding the primary weld now complete. In parallel, the primary structural tanks have also begun being painted on our on-site paint booth. The Stage 2 tank has been painted and sections of the stage tank are being painted before being welded. This closed captioning system sucks. Are being painted before being welded into the larger barrel. In engine manufacturing, the team wrapped up assembly and final integration of the second engine for the second engine for the first flight. Additional machinery is coming online to enable high-volume engine production. In the past few months, we've reduced cycle times on average by 50% across key components, and these additional machines will help speed up production even more. The avionics team is building the Flight Hub box, which acts as Terran R's central unit for routing data and distributing power. Distributing power to critical systems. After an extensive acceptance testing campaign, the first flight thrust structure is now undergoing integration. Why paint it? Thermals. You get better thermals that way if it's painted white. At the cost of mass, yes. This includes mounting secondary structures such as brackets, fluids, avionics, and more. Billet. Work on the Flight 2 thrust structure is also underway, with panel milling and stringer welding taking place alongside subassembly manufacturing. Very nice. The team wrapped up thrust structure acceptance testing in Long Beach this month. The structural test stand was reconfigured for ground case testing, demonstrating the thrust structure's ability to keep Terran R clamped down during events like static fire. Yeah, you don't want it coming apart. That's generally frowned upon. You don't want your static fire to turn into a dynamic fire. A company in China tried that once. It didn't work. In this test, we successfully applied a total of 3.7 million pounds force of tension through the thrust structural hold downs, with a peak tensile tension load of 478,000 pound force in one hold down. The team completed the handling test case, which demonstrated the thrust structure's capability for critical operations like lifting onto the transporter erector. Grade 8 bolts, very nice. The team's completed power and communications checkouts on hardware in the loop for the thrust structure avionics. On the path to integrating a full vehicle hardware in the loop this year. Vibration testing of components continues, including the successful test of the high voltage power distribution box. At NASA Stennis, acceptance testing of the first flight engine kicked off. And development testing of the second stage vacuum engine continues. Recent wins include hot firing Aeon 5 with densified liquid, or Aeon vacuum, it's not 5, Aeon vacuum with densified liquid oxygen. Very nice. A 475-second mission duty cycle burn, performing one of those, and conducting suction tests to build out and confirm the Stage 2 run box. But the focus isn't just on the first flight. No. Engine enhancements for future engine block upgrades are already underway, with igniter component testing for AR 2.0 in the works. These upgrades aren't necessarily for early flights, but will help unlock additional performance in future iterations. On the A2 test stand at Stennis, the team installed liquid nitrogen, LNG, liquefied natural gas, and liquid oxygen permanent tanks, storage tanks in place, paving the way for commodity flows for stage testing. We've also activated the first stand automation, bringing together data, ground software, fluids, network, and data control for systems. Control systems hardware to run our pneumatics panel at the launch pad. At Cape Canaveral, the horizontal integration facility has been fully framed with steel and siding panels are now being mounted. Just north of the HIF, the horizontal integration facility, deep foundation piles are being installed for the pad's lightning protection system, which will consist of two towers standing 531 feet tall. Whoa. Wow. Tentacle cabling of rocket engines. As a technician, I start sweating looking at them. Yeah, I bet you, Sam. Yeah. Bet you do. Yeah, those wire harness. Yikes. Yeah, those are pretty gigantic, dude. I mean, guys, the crazy thing is that Terran R is a bigger rocket than Falcon 9. It's bigger. It's bigger than Falcon 9. This is not a small vehicle by any means. You can see the water tower also. Can you? And Geeson, you're right. That logo does need to repaint, but NASA doesn't use this test stand anymore. They gave it to Relativity to do whatever. Yeah, they're driving piles over there. Still take pride in what you own. You will get no argument from me, man. The fluids team erected two 30,000-gallon liquid oxygen tanks at the propellant farm, with more tanks on the way. This month's progress reflects not only readiness towards first flight, but the foundation of a program built for repeatable and scalable launch. This is the first time I've kind of seen their plans for the whole thing. That's pretty cool. Wait, Y2 flare stacks. They must be using hydrogen and LNG? Interesting. I mean, guys, this is going to be one hell of a complex, dude. That's pretty big. More flare stacks, more better. Because 2 flare stacks is better than 1. Okay. What I was asking earlier was if we need the lowest delta V. If we need the lowest delta V when we go 45 off the ground on planets without atmosphere to save the most fuel, if we go higher, you still want to fly a parabolic arc. It's just on min-miss. It doesn't really matter. So just for the uninformed, what is their goal to achieve? I mean, do you have any chance against SpaceX commercially? They're going to try. And the stakeholders for this company, Shova, for relativity, have some deep pockets. Ex-Google executive Eric Schmidt is the principal investor in this project. So they got some deep pockets, dude. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, good stuff. That's going to be one hell of a launch complex, man. You can see Terran 1's old pad is right there. Interesting. I mean, those towers are going to be freaking gigantic. That's awesome. Great update. Look, they're making flight hardware, guys. Now, don't get me wrong. Relativity's still a little ways out from a launch. They're not launching anytime soon. I would say late next year. Probably. Yeah, late next year. They still got to retool that A2 test stand. They got to scale their propulsion. They have to test all the stages. They have to test first and second stages integrated on the test stands. They have to get that pad finished. It's going to be a little bit. Sure, when you're a billionaire. My friends at the golf club have a rocket company. I now also want one. It must be nice to have money, dude. I don't know. I wouldn't know nothing about that. But Shova, you ain't kidding, but I will tell you this, man. If I had a couple $1 billion, I'd do that. I'd start my own rocket company, because why not? John Carmack did that. Elon did that. Elon was a little more successful than Carmack, though. Whatever. Armadillo. Yeah. Yeah. I build my own amusement park? You build an amusement park with $2 billion? I'd start building rockets, baby. Anyway, great update from Relativity. Also, check this out. Another thing coming, imagine no lines. All right. Check this out. This is coming from Impulse Space. They posted this yesterday. Today, we're unveiling our proposed lunar mission architecture to deliver more mass to the moon in the near term. By pairing our Helios kick stage with a new Impulse-built lunar lander, we're taking the next step towards mobilizing space and enabling sustained lunar operations. Read more from Impulse founder and CEO Tom Mueller in his new blog post. Huh. What the heck? Pendulum rocket. Their lander's pendulum rocket. No! No! Tom! Why you do this? Why you like this? Stop it! It's pendulum rocket. Oh. Interesting. So Impulse. So if you guys don't know who Tom Mueller is, this guy, he likes race cars, which that's pretty cool. So Tom Mueller is. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Falcon 9, particularly Falcon 9's Merlin engines. So the Merlin 1D engines and the Merlin vacuum engines, and then the Raptor engine. Yeah, he kind of invented all those. Yeah, and the Kestrel engine for what it's worth. Yeah, Tom. He's like one of the original employees of SpaceX, and then he started his own company called Impulse, which is working on orbit tugs and stuff. So the Impulse kick stage is a Methalox on orbit tug, which is pretty cool. And now they're going to on orbit tug a lunar lander, which is even cooler. Formerly the number 2 employee at SpaceX. Exactly. Yep. Undebatably, they know that doesn't work. I bet it's to keep the engines away from the surface, the same as those HLS concepts. That's the exact reason. Yeah, the engines are mounted high on the lander, so they don't kick up too much dust. That's the reason, guys. So you're saying he's kind of a big deal. I'm saying he has many leather-bound books. And, his apartment smells of rich motor oil. Look at this melon farmer's garage. He has a C7R. He bought the freaking race car. Bought the race car. He owns a damn C7. C7, that's freaking C7R. Oh, somebody doored that dude. Oof. Yeah, he... Oh. Okay. Was that a moon dirt? Right? Don't ignore it. It was AI slop. Just AI. Ugh, never mind. All right. Anyway. How does one acquire such a beaut? Anyway. Yeah, so that's cool. Impulse is working on a lunar architecture. That's really neat. Their Impulse Methalox kick stages are pretty good. Pretty good. But let's get to what you've all been waiting for. So, give me one sec. Let me just pull up the right footage. Actually, we should watch that Falcon 9 launch before we... Falcon 9 launch is in 11 minutes. We should watch that real quick. But, give me one moment. I'm just getting the launch footage up, dudes. So, on Monday, Starship did its 11th flight test. Headphone users. Headphone users.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
I won't watch it again.
2, 1.
Oh, there you go, Dragon. No problem. I was geeking out, man.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
And with that, work has finished on the OLM.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Pretty cool. Oh. There's some pretty good, SpaceX's been posting some pretty good footage. That one I'm quite fond of. Eye candy. Yeah, those nozzles look pretty round. Yeah, I know, right? Absolute cinema. Dude, look at that. The fact, guys, the fact that this damn thing even exists. But it's ridiculous. But yeah, it was bittersweet, guys. The reason why it was bittersweet is because that was the last launch from that pad. Oh, excuse me, this pad. That was the last launch from this pad. SpaceX, from here on out, is switching to their Block 3 booster and ship design. This original launch pad, the first Starship that crossed the Kármán line went on this pad. This pad is not compatible with Block 3. It's that pad over there. That one is compatible with Block 3. So from here on out, launches are going to happen over here. Now, I've been getting questions every day, like every hour for like the past 2 days. What are they going to do with this pad? I don't know. I don't know. We haven't heard anything particularly official. What we have heard, or well, not what we have heard. What I'm speculating here, that this pad will be used. This pad will be used for ship catching. That's what I think, not what I've heard. That's what I think. I think they're going to use this to catch a Block 3 ship. They have to modify the chopsticks to be like those ones over there, which is why you saw them taking stuff off. They got to cut them down and make them look like those chopsticks on that pad. But yeah, I think the OLM is done. Yesterday, basically, well, on Monday, immediately after the launch, they evac'd all the remaining water out of the tanks here. And then they purged down all the plumbing in lines. They depressurized all the lines to going to the OLM. So that thing's toast. It's done. That was the last one. Here on out, it's over. That pad over there is my new friend. It is the kind of end of an era. It's the end of the beginning, right? This was, the Starship program started with flights from 2 suborbital launch pads that were right here and right here once upon a time. And then they built this thing over here. And now they built that thing over there. Aren't there site plans with a conversion for this pad? Eventually, Aqualex, but I don't see much in the, like, here's what I'm thinking. Like, this thing should be converted. We should see it converted at some point. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Obviously, I'm pretty, if my speculation is correct, they're going to retool the chopsticks for ship catching. So yeah, it's probably going to be a slow roll. Because if they were going to retool this pad relatively expediently, we would have seen another OLM being made. But yeah, who knows? So yeah, that's kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, we'll keep talking about Starship here after this Falcon 9 launch.
Of launch weather constraints. Now, if needed, a backup opportunity is available.
So this is the SDA Tranche 1 Transport Layer C. This is part of the Space Development Agency's proliferated warfighter spaceflight architecture. I have no idea what any of that means. It's something for the Department of Defense. It's something for the government. So we're inside of 6 minutes. I'm just going to run ads so nobody gets ads during the ascent. The booster flying today is 1093 on its 7th flight, and we'll be landing on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. This is not going to be long coverage, guys. It's going to be quick. We're just going to cover the booster launch and landing because they ain't going to show us the second stage whether we like it or not. They are nuclear launch early warning satellites. Yeah. We did see pictures of the stack, Phil. Yeah, these satellites are very spiky. Actually, Phil, you know what I noticed? Something very interesting. No insulation on the payload fairing. Payload fairing's naked. See that? This isn't the Bills. Yeah, I know. SpaceX are winners. They win it. They win things. They win contracts. Unlike, you know, and win stuff. Unlike, you know, you suck. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Looks like UHF antennas. Oh, that's what those are. I thought those were a punji pit. Sorry. I thought that was, you know, in case something gets near it, it can just chain lightning it. No, those are antennas in laser links, guys, which is actually super cool. Really, really awesome thing. And we got the satellites are mounted on basically a huge cylinder. It's a cylinder and it's stuck. It's a cylinder. And then they're mounted radially on the sides. There's 4 layers of them. It looks like we got 4 here, 4 there, 4 there, and 4 there. Will the fairings be recovered? These have recovery paraphernalia on them. I'm going to go ahead and guess yes. Anyway, let's go back over here.
Now, next up in the countdown, the transporter
Your
erector.
poison-tipped blow darts?
There we go.
Give me the whip!
TE retracting back.
You give me the idol. Give me the idol. No, give me the whip! Huh? Adios, amigo.
The TE is the large truss structure you see
All right.
standing next to the rocket. It's hinged at the base and connected to the launch mount beneath the first stage. First, the clamps around the second stage open. Then the TE begins to pivot back, slowly pivoting away from the rocket. It should reach full recline by T-minus 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
There's the transporter erector moving back into
There we see that
the
retraction.
78-degree position. Ooh, nice camera.
The TE is what provides fuel, power, telemetry, and command connections between ground systems and the rocket. The clamps at the
Is this
top
some
of the structure
infrared
help
action I see
stabilize the
going
second
on
stage
here?
during fueling, such as preventing movement in high winds. Once those clamps open, as they have now, the rocket is fully free at the top. So right now, both stages are nearly fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of propellant. That includes RP1, which is a highly refined kerosene, and liquid oxygen chilled to over 300 degrees below zero. Propellant is intentionally loaded late in the countdown because colder propellants are denser, and denser propellants mean more.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. That just caught me off guard. I'm glad you're watching, dude. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make that one thing or another. That's just funny. It just made me laugh. God, Alexa says, I'm watching the Science Channel on Twitch. There's a psychologist talking about politics. I'm so glad you're here. Hi. Hey, what's up? Politics? We never hear about that. Wow, that seems like really insightful commentary.
From here on, the countdown is
something.
fully autonomous. Then at just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, the 9 Merlin 1D engines will ignite. Once they're at full power, Falcon 9 will lift off the pad
Please,
and begin
no.
to climb to orbit.
I'm sorry, God, that was funny. That made me laugh.
So we're coming up on that stage 2 LOX load completion in just about 10 seconds from now.
Okay. I don't know why I found that so funny. It's pretty good. Dude, I'm completely screwed. Like, what time is it? Okay, we got 2 minutes. Totally not expecting that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear. That was funny, man. That was a good laugh. I appreciate you.
Weather is still looking green, and the range is...
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
There's that LOX load completion. Weather is currently looking green, and the range is ready to support our T0 of 4:06 p.m. Pacific
How you
time.
doing this fine day on ship? I'm doing great, man. We're about to watch a rocket launch. Then we're going to watch Starship footage.
Ground gas closeouts.
Freaking rules.
There's that call out that gas closeout has started. That refers to venting and closing out of our gaseous systems, such as topping off tanks and sealing vents to maintain pressure.
Okay. All right.
We're standing by now for confirmation that Falcon 9 is in startup, which we should hear around the T-1 minute mark.
Okay, so what's going on there? They're evacuating all of the commodity lines that go up the transporter erector to fill up the second stage with fuel and oxidizer. You want to get rid of...
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Okay, we got a good call for startup there.
There we go.
You want to get rid of all the gases here because if you don't, when the umbilical disconnects, it'll depressurize the line and it'll spray liquid oxygen and fuel all over the side of your rocket. Remember, with rockets, you want the fire to be inside and then come out the bottom, not on the sides. Yeah. So what they do is they purge out all the systems. They flow nitrogen gas up there and it displaces all the liquid oxygen. So when this thing opens, it doesn't hose down the side of the booster when it launches. Now, interesting thing about this Trans C layer 1 here.
T-minus 15 seconds.
The second stage has a gray stripe on it, indicating a long duration mission.
T-minus 10.
10 seconds.
9.
Pad deluge
8,
system is on.
7, 6, 5.
Sound
4,
suppression water system
3,
is on.
2.
Ignition.
1. Ignition.
Got 9 engines.
And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go SDA.
We got a liftoff. Right there.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Trying to remember the name. There we go. Trench 1 Transport Layer
MOD
C for the
chamber
Space
pressures are
Development
nominal.
Agency. Got a beautiful clear skies out in California today. They are reusing these fairings. They have the thermal protection system up at the top, dudes.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off
Should
from
get a
Slick
call for
4E
power and
at
telemetry
Vandenberg
here in a
Space
moment.
Force Base in California. We've got a great view of the rocket today. In case you are just joining us, this is the Space Development Agency's Tranche 1 mission, and we just had an on-time liftoff today.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Nominal liftoff today at 4:06 p.m. Pacific time,
There was your call for power and telemetry. We should get a call for supersonic here.
which is the point in the mission profile where the vehicle
Vehicle is
experiences
supersonic.
And then you get a call for maximum dynamic pressure, which is peak aerodynamic compression load being exerted on the vehicle. Basically, you can't move the Falcon 9 can't move the air out of the way fast enough. So they throttle back the engines to wait till it gets a little higher, so the density goes down. You throttle the thing back up. You don't have to worry about aerodynamics accordioning the launch vehicle. Now, you asked about the gray stripe, Lava Eagle. The gray stripe is for thermally. It's a thermal protection system for the RP1. So Falcon 9's second stage can spend a long time loitering up on orbit, like if you're deploying a satellite constellation. See the gray stripe over the RP1 tank? Long duration second stage.
second stage will light, which is called out as second engine start. Or
So, Peter, you asked what flight this is. This is the 134th mission for SpaceX this year. It's Falcon 9's 129th launch of 2025 and Falcon 9's 547th mission overall. Just, in case you were keeping tabs. Yeah, this is the 134th Falcon SpaceX mission this year,
So we should be coming up
129th
on
Falcon
Nico
9
in
launch.
15 seconds here.
The other 5 missions are the Starship missions. We watched one on Monday. Should be coming up to MECO here, or main engine cutoff. They shut down the 9 engines. They'll shut them down in stages here. Watch. It'll go.
MECO.
See? Should get a call for stage separation.
Stage separation confirmed.
Got a good call for stage separation. Look for the plume from the upper stage right there.
I'm back startup.
Okay. Good ignition.
And there's
First
that
stage
series
is-
of back-to-back callouts there.
First stage is going to fire its attitude control systems to turn it around and position it correctly for landing.
Both payload fairing halves supporting today's mission are also flight proven, with one half flying for its 4th time today and
I
the
think
other for
January.
its 3rd.
Irwing. Yeah.
As a reminder,
I
today
think we're
we are
going to see
delivering
another
Orbit
Starship
21
sooner rather
satellites
than
provided
later.
by Lockheed Martin.
Remember, chat, these are Lockheed Martin satellites. You can't spell locked in without Lockheed Martin.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Fairing separation
There's that
confirmed.
confirmation of the fairing separation. As mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves again once they fall back to Earth with our West Coast recovery vessel, Go Beyond.
Probably 1,000, no good. That's my guess.
Today is SpaceX's second Tranche 1 mission this year for the Space Development Agency. Our first Tranche 1 mission successfully launched on Wednesday, September 10th at 7:12 a.m.
Thermal
Pacific
protection
time
system
from
ship
Space
on
Launch
top of the
Complex 4
fairings.
East, which is the same launch complex we use today at Vandenberg Space Force Base. The Space Development Agency's mesh network of optically connected
Locksmith
satellites is
Barton.
primarily focused on tactical data delivery to warfighters, tracking and targeting for
There's no brain rot like aerospace brain rot. Let me tell you that.
targets. We're currently just over 4 minutes and 10 seconds into today's mission. The next major milestone
January,
coming
Graham.
up in about 3 minutes will be the entry burn of the Falcon 9 booster as it continues on its journey towards our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, stationed in the Pacific. To start the entry burn, we will relight 3 of our M1D engines, which is similar to pumping the brakes to slow down the vehicle as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere.
No comments.
We need to
folks.
slow down the vehicle to reduce re-entry forces, which then helps us recover and reuse the first stage.
So, Aurora, these launches are launching southwest, 97-degree inclination for this type of orbit, for this type of satellite. We're not supposed to know. I can see the ground. I can see where the thing went. This is a 97-degree inclined orbit. It's a sun-synchronous orbit, I'm pretty dang sure. That's where most defense satellites are. If I just suddenly lose connection, you know what happened. So, Aurora, something super cool about this, and this is not necessarily something that you can do in KSP. Aurora, you were here when I was talking about gravity, right? And how Earth's gravitational center is not its geometric center. They're offset, right? So the center of gravity is not on the spinning axis of Earth. So that makes Earth kind of weeble wobble around, right? That's why it weeble wobbles around. That's why you have those, seasons. Those are kind of important. Yeah, the season thing, those equinoxes and solstices, those things. It weeble wobbles around. You can use that to your advantage. The weeble wobbling that happens, it's a very technical term, that happens because of Earth's center of gravity not being lined up with the geometric center, causes precession. It's called precession in spaceflight. It is a orbital perturbing force. By using the non-uniform gravitational pull of Earth, because think about it, at one point, right, you're going to be on the far side of Earth, and the center of gravity of Earth is going to be off the gravitational center. You'll be on the other side. So the gravitational pull changes just a teeny bit. Not anything for us to be able to notice, but enough to influence a satellite. These sun-synchronous orbits use precession to be able to modify their orbits while they're orbiting to be able to move over the same spot at the same time every day. So if you want to image something, you can always image it in daylight. Supersonic retropropulsion happening right there. Yeah, you use Earth precession. Now, once again, guys, they're not going to show the track, but this looked like a sun-synchronous insertion. I'm not sure why you would need that with this type of proliferated warfighter space architecture, but still cool. Yeah, that's why Vandenberg exists, to be able to get at sun-synchronous orbits, because sun-synchronous orbits are technically retrograde orbits. They're 97 degrees inclined. So if you are on the equator and you launch due east on the equator, that's 0 degrees inclined. All right? If you're on the equator and you launch straight due north, that's 90 degrees inclined. Anything past 90 degrees is counteractive to the way that Earth spins. It's really windy out there. Counteractive to the way that Earth spins. Those are called retrograde orbits. Anytime you fly retro, you're flying in the opposite direction that the planet spins. Now, in this particular case, that 97 degree inclination just happens to be the spot where you can be resonant with Earth's precession. Pretty cool. Okay, so the booster's coming in. This is booster 1090 banana. 1093. This is its 7th flight coming in for a landing. Of course, I Still Love You is under the left grid fin somewhere. We got some low clouds out there in the Pacific today.
Hearing sending that call out for the first stage landing burn in a few moments from now.
Stage 1 landing burn.
You're not supposed to
there's
know
that call
that.
out.
Shh.
This is the final burn that this booster will see before landing.
Okay, landing burn is on. We got one good engine.
Landing light deploy.
Legs have deployed.
I'm back shut down.
1093 lives to fly another day. A little bit off center,
one
but
landing
looks
confirmed.
like there's some chop out on the Pacific today.
Some awesome views there of the grid fins
Actually,
on our way down.
that's pretty calm waters right there. It's probably windy. Yeah, a little windy. Little windy. Look at the purging gases. She's a little windy. That's why the wind blew it that way just a little bit. No problem.
Views
No
at the request
problem.
of our customer. So with the successful landing of our Falcon 9 booster, we'll be bringing our webcast to a close. We'd like to thank the Space Development Agency for entrusting us with today's mission. and
That's
we'd also
tank
like to
vent
thank
down.
Boeing and
Bring the
FAA
tanks down
for
from
their
flight
support.
pressure.
If you're interested in more launch coverage, be sure to check out spacex.com/launches and follow @SpaceX on X for the most up-to-date information.
You guys want to see some, you guys
out
want to
the
know some
visuals
actually
for
pretty
doing it.
interesting stuff here. Did you know that the majority of SpaceX missions have launched after Starship Flight 1? SpaceX has launched more missions in the past 3 years than they did in the prior 10 to 2023 when the first launch was. Think about that for a second. It's pretty crazy, right? More Falcon 9s have launched in the last 2 years than the last 15 or 13 prior. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. I have a question. What about turbine pumps? Are you sure we could talk about political psychology, Guy Noxon, if you want? Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah, you want to talk about space stuff? I got you. What's up? Sorry. What about turbine pumps? Are they powered by separate miniature rocket engines, or do they really consume small amounts of the main rocket fuel? Good question. So something like on Falcon 9. So Falcon 9's Merlin engines. The 9 engines in the first stage on Falcon 9 are Merlin 1D engines. Okay. So those are open cycle gas generator engines. Gas generator being the operative word. So the Merlin engine uses what's called a turbo pump. Now, no, that's not just some fancy cool thing that's like, oh, it's the quantum carburetor. No, a turbo pump is a jet engine that's attached to a fuel pump. Well, fuel and oxidizer pump. It's not a turbo fuel pump. It's just a turbo pump. So when the Merlin engine uses kerosene and liquid oxygen, it's called a Kerolox engine because kerosene, liquid oxygen. Now, why bring the oxygen with you? There's no oxygen up there. The rocket engine needs to be up there, and there's no oxygen up there, so the rocket has to take the oxygen with it because you need oxygen to make an explosion. All right? You still with me? Okay, so what the Merlin 1D has is a gas generator. A gas generator, which, like I said, that's basically a jet engine, but it's not a jet engine like how you'd think. Because remember, you got to take that oxygen with you. So a jet engine has a compressor and then a combustor and then a turbine, right? You don't have the compressor because there's no air intake because where you're going, there's no air. So how do you do it? How do you make the jet engine work? Well, you have a combustor and the turbine. So it's kind of half of a jet engine. It's the back part of a jet engine. And how they do that, how they get the gas generator work is they use a little bit of liquid fuel and a little bit of liquid oxygen. Liquid fuel and liquid oxygen. They spray a little bit of kerosene and RP1 into the generator, and the jet engine, it blows up in the gas generator, the combustor, spins the turbine, and the turbine is connected on a shaft to 2 fluid impellers, 2 fuel pumps, but they're not fuel pumps. One of them is for oxygen, so they're called fluid impellers. One is for liquid oxygen, one's for fuel. Those feed the main injector plate or the main injector mechanism on the rocket engine. So yeah, the Merlin engine does use a little bit of fuel to drive the pump. Yeah, it's a jet engine. with a fuel pump attached to the front instead of a compressor. Turbojet. The more you know. Bing bong bong. How about we learn about political neuroscience? Oxymorons aren't allowed in here. What are you doing? Oh, nice, Oculus. Neat. Cool. Thanks for the explanation. I got you. Dude, Ganoxa, that was funny, man. You totally threw me off my game. That was hilarious. Hey, do you want to see this? No, I don't. Where's DJ? Thanks, I hate it. I'm sorry, that's pretty funny, man. Thanks, I hate it. Anyway, why is it called Merlin? Like the Spitfire engine? I don't know. They came up with names for everything. Falcon 9 is named after the Millennium Falcon, guys. The Dragon capsule is named after Puff the Magic Dragon because they said you'd be, you know, a commercial manned spaceflight capsule is a figment of your imagination. Yeah, that's why they call Dragon Dragon. Fun fact. We should learn more about military intelligence. No, we shouldn't. Nope. I purposely don't try to do that. Yeah, no, nope. Yeah, I know nothing. Anyway. Yeah, Fluffy, for sure. So this was the 129th mission for Falcon 9 this year. Yep. Figment the Dragon. That's a Epcot deep cut right there, if I've ever heard one. Yeah, yeah. Figment, Puff the Magic Dragon. Bum, 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 bum. You have a figment. One of my favorite rides when I was 3. Seriously. That and the People Mover. And the monorail. Like, my family was like, hey, EJ, do you want to ride the roller coaster? No. What do you want to ride? The People Mover. Okay. That's weird. Can we ride the monorail next? Well, what about Splash Mountain? No, that's dumb. I want to ride the monorail. Is that bad? Come on, that reads, right? That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds like me, right? Yeah. Splash Mountain was cool. Thunder Mountain is cool. But it's not the monorail and the People Mover, dude. That tracks. Ah, all right. No, Flykin, yeah. I haven't heard about that, but that sounds awful. But yeah, come on, it's the monorail. It's the monorail. It's like a train, but with one rail. That's super neat. It tracks, right? Yeah, it tracks, man. Yeah, the People Mover, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. TTA People Mover. It's awesome. The Contemporary is still a cool building. Thank you. Yes, it is. Is that a raincoat? Yes, it is. What if we took a monorail and doubled the amount of rails? That'd be something. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. They've never, surely that's been tried before. Favorite Walt Disney World Resort? Epcot. The experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Hey, Paul. That tracks. Sir, I'm disappointed with you. I didn't say that, X-Wing. Twitch chat did. Have you been to the Harry Potter place? That's not in Disney World. I have a question. Are you scared of roller coasters? No. Not at all, Ship. Why would I be scared of physics? I live and breathe physics and physics accessories every day. Roller coasters do not scare me. Nope. Not at all. Galaxy's Edge is pretty cool, Lemprod. Yeah, that's at Hollywood Studios. I'm going to still call it MGM Studios. I don't care. I know, some people are terrified of it. No. My only thing is that, like, if I go on roller coasters, like we're talking about Disney World, there's the Aerosmith Rockin' roller coaster where you accelerate and then you go, like, right into a loop. My only complaint about that ride is that I wasn't accelerated fast enough. I want it to be, like, twice as fast. You'd ride the shuttle. Roller coasters are meh in comparison. That's correct. Yes. Go on the Hulk over Velociraptor. Hulk wasn't fast enough for me. I was like, this is fun, but not fast enough. You know what would be fast enough? A carrier launch. Yeah. That would be fast enough. I'd have fun with that. I'd be like, you know, like, you'd probably make those noises too. That's fast enough. That'd be good. Yeah, figure I could hook that up. You know, I know dudes that fly fighter planes. The shuttle launch experience at Kennedy Space Center, you like that? Yeah, that's pretty good. How about a maglev? Well, that's cool, but yeah, maglevs are neat, but we don't like trains in this country, remember? How fast was Test Track? About 90 miles an hour. Test Track's fun. I was gonna ask why the military prefers Vandenberg. Yeah, Older Buffalo. Yeah, so they can get to the right orbits. It's only 65? Test Track at Holloman, it's Mach 8.7. Yeah, now you're speaking my language, Pythos. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. You know, we'll do some John Stapp stuff. That'll be a good time. Aircraft carrier launches, but which plane would you want to be in? Super Hornet would be fine. Headphone users, what's that? I got to be careful with audio because of YouTube. Oh yeah, the sled. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I need to go that fast, Pythos, but that still is pretty rad. Oh geez, Baron, has Space Engineer been mucking around with trajectories? Holy crap. So Space Engineer overlaid Flight 11's landing trajectory over Brownsville. He got it because of extreme space nerddom. He was able to extrapolate the trajectory, and he superimposed it, and it goes around Brownsville. And Starship approaches through the channel right here, flies between Port Isabel and South Padre Island, and then lands for a catch. Who let TSD look at clouds again? Apparently there's an issue with YouTube. We can't load any videos from other devices. Down detector showing red for YouTube. Oh boy. John Stapp did do some amazing stuff. FYAJ, it looks like YouTube is dead. Yeah, cool boy. That's what people are telling me. You know what's scary? Playing as a quarterback for the Browns behind that offensive line. Yeah, that scares me. Spoiled. That would. Yeah, nope. I'll take the Mach 8.7 sled over that. sounds like it's time someone got you into the astronaut centrifuge. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds like fun. Misty, he must be an insider. No, space engineer is just a nerd. Just a huge turbo nerd. And I'm here for it, man. I am here for it. Look at that. That is crazy. How in the world does that fly? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, headphone users, again. Headphone users, this is going to get loud. I'm turning it up. I'm sorry. I'm not, we're not going to not watch this at full volume. All right. You have 5 seconds. Headphone users, one more time. Yes, Geeson, precisely. Game recognized game. You keep saying that and it's hardly ever loud. Well, all right. So SpaceX yesterday posted this footage of Ship 38 coming down, doing the belly flop. And here. This one actually. Oh. Do you think it landed precisely on target? Andrew, this had to have been close because the drone is in the right spot, but the buoy is in the right spot. See it over there? Buoy's in the right spot. So this trajectory was pretty close, whatever it was. The grid on your face, dude. I mean, do you see what's going on here? Hey, headphone users again. I'm sorry. It's going to be loud for like the next 5 minutes. Just deal with it. Dude, that's actually insane. So, I kind of sat here. I've been watching this footage because I didn't do space news yesterday because I had some RL stuff to deal with. Yes, those are pieces coming off the vehicle. That's not great. Guys, you know, I was saying like, oh, I don't think this is burned through. I don't think this is burned through yesterday. I'm pretty sure she sprung a leak. I'm pretty sure that Ship 38 got a little ganked. On the way down. There's a lot of tiles missing right there, right there, right there. Yeah, there's also the nose cone caught on fire. Yeah, the nose cone caught on fire. That's not good, not great. Now, here's the thing. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, oh, that's not great. That's not great. Guys, these were not things that like, oh, they put it through reentry and oh man, it came through with a hole in it. I mean, that is impressive. I want to point out that these are induced failures. See all the holes right there? They're induced failures, okay? SpaceX, when they went to launch this thing, purposefully was taking tiles off. They did that on purpose. I don't think so, man. Those tiles are off on purpose. Space and Rocket Review, dude. Let me see if I can find a picture from SpaceX. Here, take a look. So here's a picture of the ship before it launched when they were integrating it. So we did count. I did some counting at the beginning of the stream. There's over 100 tiles missing. Now, I know what people are going to say. You know, oh, those don't look like that big of spots, though, EJ. Those aren't that big of a deal. I want to point out that the tiles that are missing, they took them out in pairs of 2. Or, well, 4. Anytime you see one of these little plus signs, that's 4 tiles missing. That's a single. That's a single. But there's 4 of them missing right there. Testing at McGregor. Yeah. And I noticed that there were more missing on the port side of the starboard side of the vehicle than there were on the port side. Now, guys, those are 4 tiles missing right there. I want to show you. And I showed this on stream before, but I want to show it again, just in case anybody doesn't understand this. You know, there were holes. There were holes in that when ship 38 came through. It absolutely was damaged, and I'm pretty sure those are leaks. Were the fires coming out? I'm not sure what's on fire up there. I have no idea. But down the bottom, that's definitely a leak. They sprung a leak on the way down because it burned through. Now, this is not a real tile. Okay, this isn't a real one, but this is a 1-to-1 scale replica. This is 3D printed, and because it has EJ 154 on it, which is pretty cool. Now, yeah, this one is fake. I have, you know, something up there. This one is fake, but it is for demonstration purposes. Only this is the exact size. Now, okay. You're not going to be able to discern scale from me with my hand next to this because I'm Sasquatch hands. So look at this next to an Xbox controller. Okay. Now picture one up here, one over here, and one over here. The areas that we're missing in those clusters of 4 are huge. We're talking almost, dude, it's got to be almost a meter. A meter tall and probably like a half meter wide. Like, look at these things. These tiles are not small. Could you fit a person? I don't know. So there was another tile here, another tile here, and another tile here. These things are, this is wide. That's a huge, huge hole. Like, look at all of them. They're everywhere. And some of them are they're basically on the spine of the ship. That one, that one, that one. Oh my goodness. I'm amazed this ship made it. I didn't really think about just how big of a hole that thing is. That's huge. It's actually crazy that the thing didn't get more damaged than it did. So, you know, I've seen, you know, looking around on like social media and stuff, and you know, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is reusable. I'm wondering. Of course, it's not reusable. They punched holes in it, and not only did they punch holes in it, they punched big holes in it in the spots where the thing really gets the hottest. Go back to the drone landing footage 5 seconds before splashdown. Oh, dude, the tank's leaking. The LOX tank is absolutely leaking. It's not a big leak, but it is a leak. That's what that is. There's no vent there. There was a vent there a long time ago, but that style of starship is long gone. So the interesting thing here, Milge, see this wide swath of area that's just completely intact on the port side of the vehicle? There were no tile tests over here. And look at it, man. It's fine. It's perfect. There's no tiles missing anywhere from the port side of the vehicle. The only areas where you have really bad burn through and where the thing sprung a leak is areas where they were doing tile experiments. It still has enough pressure to stay rigid during the flip, which is crazy. I mean, basically, like I said, guys, I think this is kind of the upper echelon of how many tiles you could get away with losing. Not that I think SpaceX wants to do that, but yeah, we counted about 100 and change. That's a lot. That is a lot. Now, comparatively for the space shuttle, like, space shuttle could probably lose like 3 or 4, maybe like 2 to 3. You lose any more than that, you're not having a good day. And I would like to add that, like, the space shuttle, I don't like to talk about STS-107 statistically because 7 people died, and that's unacceptable. NASA, I'm looking at you. The Columbia had a 16-inch wide hole in the reinforced carbon on the leading edge on the left wing. So it's a hole about this big. That's a hole about the size of a tile, give or take. It's a little bit bigger. Yeah, a piece of foam came off the external tank on the way up and punched a hole in it. Not cool. We ended up losing 7 souls in February 1st, 2003, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's all it took to get to lose the shuttle completely. A hole about this big. The holes that were induced on Starship there, keep in mind they weren't holes, they were just places where there was no tile, were this big and this tall. And there was like 20 of them. Crazy, right? It's a testament to the design. That thing is a tank. It's got fuel and oxidizer tanks in it. I understand that. But that thing absolutely tanks the heat, no problem. You can get away with a catastrophic amount of tiles being lost, and it clearly is not that big of a deal. It'll come back down. Do you think they'll remove some for V3? I think this is fine, dude. It's a tank. All the tanks are leaking. I know. She's built like a steakhouse, but handles like a bistro. So the point that I'm trying to get at with this, people are saying like, "Oh, I'd be worried about the reuse. I'd be worried about the reuse." Dude, they're not going to launch it with a bunch of holes in the heat shield. Like, I really think that once the Block 3 ship gets up and running, I don't think they're going to do any more tile experiments, right? I really don't. I don't think they're doing tile experiments no more. I think the crunch wrap tile that Dan was talking about in the SpaceX cast on Monday is exactly what they're looking for. The vast majority of these tiles, especially in areas where there weren't tile experiments, worked excellent. Like, perfect. But I'm trying to show you. I've seen this. I don't know how many times I need to tell you. I've seen this. I've seen this already, Baron. Watch the tank. It dents. I know. Ding. Yeah. Stainless steel, when it gets introduced to heat, starts waving like that. You start to introduce too much heat to stainless, it'll start to get wavy and bendy like that. They lost main tank pressure during flight. No, they did not. There's no way. If they lost tank pressure, they wouldn't have been able to relight the engines, man. And that's not losing tank pressure. That's just heat being introduced to stainless steel at pressure. Yummy. They use the header tank to land. What is that connected to? What are those header tanks connected to? The shin bone. That's right. The neck tank. They're connected to the square hole. Not to the main tank, directly to the thrust puck. Header tanks connect directly to the engines. Hey, Dutch guy, what's up? They do not dump into the main tank. Oh, yeah, the wide off things. Yeah, that's right. So what? Okay, all right. Let's just get down to brass tacks. I'm wrong about that. That's fine. Yeah, you're right. They Y in right to the engines. That's absolutely right. I'm remembering the plumbing now. So second of all, who cares? Who cares? What are you trying to show me? Who cares if they lost pressure in the main tank? That's obviously induced from, oh, I don't know, holes in the thermal protection system. Like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me here. Other than you know more off the cuff about Raptor, about how the Starship plumbing works. Like, what are you trying to tell me? I'm confused. Yeah, I know. Right? The reentry had a negative perigee. I'm telling you, dude. This is what I've been trying to say, man. I'm trying to say that these reentry trajectories that they're taking are insanely steep on purpose. Trying to show you that the pressure control loop inside Starship is actively compensating for the lost pressure to maintain structural integrity. Cool. That's pretty neat, man. Say that next time. Do you think the new grid fin design, each fin will operate individually or in pairs to control the booster? There's only 3 of them in the design, Yum Food. You know that I hate you. I know you do. Yeah, Logan. We haven't seen a normal Starship reentry left. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's why I'm getting confused. That's cool that the pressure control loop system in this works, can compensate for loss of tank pressure. That's super neat. I think that's cool. But I'm talking about the thermal. That's what I'm like. What are you talking about? I'm trying to teach people about the thermal protection system. You're on about fluid control loops. Are we trying to confuse new people? The side note, Ferrari engine for next year is so bad. I'm convinced you hate me at this point. Why would you even bring that up? Why would you bring that up, man? Why would you bring that up? Why would you bring that up? I hate you. You're gonna bring that up, man? Damn. Every day, Dutch guy. Every day, dude. I told you I hate you. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. The control systems compensate. I mean, dude, it's a monster. This thing is so freaking cool. I'm sorry. It's so damn cool. Someone pissing in your Cheerios? Van, let's not even beat around the bush here. Chat pisses in my Cheerios every damn day. And I have to sit here and I have to eat this nonsense every day. That got weird, didn't it? Anyway, it's an acquired taste. It's good. Baron's hobby. No, like I'm trying to keep it like if you're gonna change the subject on me, Baron, I don't have a problem with it, but say that, dude. because you're saying like, oh, look at this, this here, check this, look at this, and that's cool. I want it, but I'm trying. The point that I'm trying to make is that this thing had holes in it for days, and it still made it through. You lost main LOX tank pressure. There's definitely a leak right there. It's coming out the side. It's not supposed to come out the side. That's not great. The front's on fire. Okay, the front is on fire. That's not great either, and it still made it through. We need to like rethink about tiled thermal protection systems. This thing is rewriting the book on this stuff, and they're making it look easy, which is stupid. That's stupid. It's awesome. Wheaties are better pissed on. I mean, yeah, okay, that's fair. Shut up, Hibbit. I'm gonna be lasting your baby next year. Dude, we have Roman Anthony, you lose every day of the week. Every day. And Marcelo Mayer, you'd lose. Don't even pretend like, but we got Aaron Judge. No. Okay, yeah. It's super freaking hard to code that, man. I'm speaking a lot from personal experience. Oh, dude, there's no doubt in my mind. You need to take into effect a lot of stuff from the sensor refresh rate to what you're using to compensate with either helium or CO2. I mean, helium they don't have. I don't think they have CO2 on there either. Well, the fire suppression system, so they do in the attic. So yeah, they're using CO2. That would make sense. I can't wait until there's a nighttime landing at the Cape, because if it's coming from the northwest, it'll fly over my house near Pensacola. That's awesome, Todd. Cool, man. CO2 isn't plumbed into the tank. Do you know that for sure? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Nitrogen would be the commodity that they have. I think these tests should help give reassurance with human-rated landings of the ship eventually. At Torlab, I think if Ship 38 doesn't have, like, 30 holes punched into the thermal protection system, I think it looks just fine. I think it looks the thermal protection system doesn't have all these stains on it, and it just looks a little gray. Like that. I'm kind of scared of Raptor 3. Why? That engine is so rad, but they're flying it unprotected, so that's a bit scary. Raptor 3, dude. Raptor 3's... okay. How do I say this? Raptor 3's fluid management system is quite actually black magic. It is a perfect synthesis of mechanical engineering and fluid engineering. It is like, it's ridiculous. So guys, you guys have, everybody knows, if you've seen a Raptor 3, it's very, very simple looking. It doesn't look very complicated, but simultaneously it doesn't look complicated, and it's the most complicated rocket engine like ever devised. The only thing probably more complicated than a Raptor at this point is a shuttle engine. I want to just point out something that's also extremely simple, right? It doesn't look like it was hard to make. This thing. Yeah, Raptor 3 is like that. But here's the thing. Raptor 3's thermal protection system, the reason why they simplified all the plumbing and the reason why they moved to flanges wasn't just for the internal fluid protection. They incorporated, instead of having an attic, well, not an attic, instead of having a thermal protection system at the bottom of Super Heavy and the aft skirt and the shroud, they just made the shroud into the engines. They're designed for heat management on the outside and on the inside, which is
Discovery, go
impressive, to say the least. Hey, Bio, 70, that's like a lot, yeah? Yeah, it is. Didn't think I'd see EJ rocking an iPhone, but I kind of figured he'd be an Android man, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, Aurora, everything about me says I should have an Android. I don't care. I can only give a frick about so many things. I can only care about passionately about how, I think it's really funny when the Yankees lose. Any other New York team. I would also like to point out, as a matter of factly, Aurora, that a New York team has not won a championship in 5,000 days. That's really funny to me. There's only so many things I can care about. That's one of them. What type of phone I have doesn't. If I can take pictures with it and call and text, I don't really care. Like, that's it. Everything else is superfluous. But yeah, I'm not like a huge phone nerd, to be honest with you. With that being said, there are some really cool Android-based phones out there. But yeah, I got a 17. It's nice. It's a nice phone. It does what I need it to do. 2 favorite teams. Red Sox and whoever beats the Yankees. That's right. I miss the Razor days. I had a Razor back in the day, a V1 and a V3. My V3 was gold. It was sick. Do you think they have added a heat exchanger to Raptor 3? I tried to go through the testing footage and I couldn't spot one. Not having it is super bad for long space flight operations. A heat exchanger? I mean, Baron, it could have one internal and we wouldn't ever be able to see it. That's what I'm talking about, man. Raptor 3 is like it's like a smartphone. It looks very simple, right? It doesn't look very complicated. I have super heavy on my smartphone, by the way. Yeah, see. No, hey, get out of there. See, super heavy. It doesn't seem complicated, but it is. There's a lot of stuff going on in there that there's more than meets the eye. Jerk. Yeah, well, whatever. Enjoy Cancun. Galaxy Fold. Yeah, nice. I also find it funny how Ferrari F1 is mid. Yeah, they are. Shoreline, as a Yankees fan, I also find this funny. We suck so bad, you just can't get mad at it. Oh, come on, guys. You got 27? You got 27 championships. Be quiet. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Saying that as a freaking Boston fan. How many Boston fans are going to say that? You'll be fine. Pretty much every static fire video shows gases being sucked into low pressure zone and around and underneath the nozzle. How is it possible for the atmosphere to creep up into the RS-25 nozzle if the pressure coming out of it is that high and that it affects the surroundings? Because the weight of the entire atmosphere is pushing in on it, LS. Dude, how many miles of atmosphere do you have above you? The atmospheric pressure is 14 pounds per square inch. It's a lot of surface area, dude. Honestly, I wish SpaceX did an all-up thermal protection system with Flight 11. I think they're going to do that with the next one, Hellfish, personally. What is this, Mutter? What do you got? 1220 to 1240. Okay. All right. Let's listen in.
We've also kind of reclocked their position on the booster. That aligns them with the catch arms. Yeah, we got it right in the middle there. All right, and then powering it all, Raptor 3. Looks radically different, just straight up radical. Tons of major changes. It's coming in higher thrust, dramatic reduction in parts. Tons of control mechanisms moved inside. Our McGregor teams built some additional...
Hear what he said? Baron, there's more than meets the eye here. A lot of it is internal because they made the outside of the engine a thermal protection system. And they did that to be able to eliminate, 5 tons of aero skirt off the bottom of the booster?
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Hey, Bio, was that a 100? What were we talking about? What, why? Where did that come from? What did I do? Love you, buddy. All right. Bedanked? Bedanked? Thanks, man. Jeepers creepers. Have you ridden Viper? Which coaster is that? Can't see me. Sorry, video time, not tea time. Oh, okay. Okay.
Screen right now. It's a crucial milestone to let us know.
Hang on. Bio, was that 100? Was that 100 subs? Why? What, dude? You didn't need to do that, man. Come on now. Jeepers creepers. Thank you, though. That really helps me out, man. It's been a rough couple of months, but it's been like lows and highs. Like you get good stuff like this, like stuff like Canard, and stuff like gifted subs, but also had a lot of bad stuff happen too. You know. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I recently got into a better financial state, and out of everyone, you helped me get through some rough months. My turn to return the favor. Thank you. I need it, man. I need it. Thank you.
We're ready to go. And then here we're seeing ship. We did this for the second time on a retrofitted mount on pad 1.
Galileo.
We had a full 9-second duration burn on all 6 engines.
All right,
we should also note that today's launch on pad 1 is intended to be the last launch on this pad in this configuration. As we head into the next generation Starship flight test program, we'll be modifying pad 1 to meet the demands of our future missions.
Yeah, and among many other things, we're installing a new orbital launch mount, a new flame trench system, and upgrading the chopsticks for future catches. So until that's complete, we'll be running operations from pad 2, which will be coming online very soon.
Yep. Yeah, okay, cool. That last part, he said they're upgrading the chopsticks. That's probably the first thing that they're going to do, which because they removed hardware off of the chopsticks motor, right? Like, that's what we were talking about, right, dude? I still am like... Zach apparently got info on V3 using a helium heat exchanger instead of using pre-burnt propellants for ullage gas, eliminating the icing problem Starship V2 had. Helium heat exchanger. Baron, you hear that, dude? Helium heat exchangers. It's gotta be, that's gotta be closed loop. It's gotta be a closed loop system. Wait a minute. Does that mean that Raptor 3, they Skylon engined Raptor 3? Huh. Wow. That's impressive. Don't the shuttle engines do that? Please hold. No. No, they do not. Bro, they stole the J2X heat exchanger. I wouldn't be like too upset about that, Baron, because that means that something on the J2X actually got used. You know, the best thing to do with, you know, propulsion development and research, the best thing to do, according to NASA, is to not use it. Let's design this new engine. This new engine is really good and could be really good for us, especially for upper stage architecture. No. We need to save some money. Don't use this. Okay, so what about the upper stage that we need? Nah, just use a Delta 4 or whatever. It's fine. Just use that. Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's there. Yeah, rocket engines. Complicated. Where is it, though? But think about it. If you don't use it, you save money on manufacturing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, YouTube is having some problems, guys. Yeah, we are aware of it, and it's YouTube, so I can't really do anything with that. Anyway. Spaceman from Earth.
Go at throttle up.
Since I was last last subscribed, I was inspired to go and see a launch at Vandenberg. I think I need to see another now. Yeah, that's how it starts. Please check this PDIF. No, is it pertinent to subject matter? If it's not, I'm punching you in the face in GTA next time we play. Oh, my beloved. Oh, that's such a good idea. What page am I going to? I punch you in the face with your... You punch me in the face with your wallet? Yeah, that's fair. Page 8. Did you see what happened to Felix's channel for a little bit? Yeah, YouTube, by mistake, banned the What About It YouTube channel, which is, yeah, by mistake. Sure you did. Sure, yeah, it was by mistake. Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, I mistakenly ban people all the time. Wait, no, I don't. What exactly is the J2X? The J2X is a... Hydrolox engine that was supposed to go on top of Ares 5 for the Constellation program. They do that sometimes, and by sometimes, I mean quite often. Yeah, I know, that's weird. They outbanned him, though, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Last paragraph in page 10 and check page 11 to cry. Assembly of the E10001 regenerative nozzle assembly was underway. The forward base ring fully alloyed for brazing. All three flat bands around the braze tubes were ready for plumbing. The turbine exhaust manifold base ring was in machining, and the regenerative nozzle tubes were fully alloyed for braze. The main injector was rapidly approaching brazed assembly. Why are they brazing things? Whatever. With the interpropellant plate received, the lockstone was nearing completion. This is before printed nozzles. Yeah, that's right. I gotta remember that this is like 2007, 2008. Yeah. Yeah, they're all brazed tubes, Bill. Like how they used to repair radiators. It's stupid though because that's how he supports his family and employees. It's not like it's an underground channel. It's one of the biggest in the community. Yeah, of course, Ari. Did I not say that? Did I say that that was okay? Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, it's bullcrap. Us as content creators have no defense against this nonsense. Dude, that's why I just mute videos. I don't even listen to them anymore. You never know. Dude, you can get taken down for a freaking fart sound effect. I've had streams that's just me talking like this right now get claimed, dude. It happens. It's really annoying. Believe me. Fun note, the SPS used counterflow exchanger's heated helium pack. Not at all, just saying against YouTube. Yeah, it's not okay, dude. We enjoy EJ voiceovers more. Yeah. I know a streamer got claimed for cricket chirps. Yeah, dude, they'll just claim sound effects from video games, dude. The last GTA stream that I did, guys, got claimed by Julian Lennon. Or at least whoever owns the IP to the song It's Much Too Late for Goodbyes. I think I played it for maybe 5 seconds. By accident on stream. Claimed the whole thing. Sharing revenue. Yeah. Yeah, that's stupid. Stupid. Anyway. You know what the interesting thing is to me, Baron? Look at all of the J2X stuff that was built. This is a flight engine. It's basically ready to go. Like, how is that legal? Yeah. It's... Never mind. I don't want to talk about it, dude. All this stuff, dude. And look, there you go. You know, everybody was saying, like, oh, Ares 1 would have been delayed. Ares 1 would have been delayed. No, I don't think so. Judging by all the hardware that I'm looking at and seeing right here, I really think that Ares 1 would have flown. Ares 1Y, which was the next one, it probably would have flown in like 2012, 2013, something like that. Probably a crew mission 2015, 2016. I'd say 2016, even if you take into account like SLS style delays. Like, dude, look at this. Look at this. What's a good book to learn about rocket engines? Rocket Propulsion Elements by George Sutton. I want to share those schematics with you if you check the page 3 and 4. Whoop. Sorry, I'm looking through this stuff. Oh. Hello. Yeah. Interesting control valve scheme. Oh, hey, Space Engineer. What's up, dude? Check out NASA SP-125 instead. What's going on, man? How are you? Dude, you superimposed that trajectory over Brownsville and my jaw dropped. I was like, Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay. 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 So NASA SP-125, what's that about? Okay, Starbase Live is just beeping. Hey, Supervon. I don't know about Wings Wednesday for right now, dude, but maybe in the future. YouTube is back. All right. Did you see the Libra 13K they're laying down at 39? Yeah, of course, man. The return trajectory is nuts. Kind of hard to portray how dramatic it is, but I'm working on a visual. Dude, the trajectory overlay is all I needed to see. Oh, you gotta get this up. Hell yeah.
This is space. I'm in space.
Hell yeah. This is Dieter Heusel and David Huang. This is SB-125. Yeah, nothing like that. Oh, dude, this book. Hold on. Bro, I keep this on my desk. I have this book on my desk. This is the freaking Bible for propulsion, man. I love this book. This thing is great. Yeah, you want to know how us nerds, all the STEM educators out here, how we do this? We read stuff like this, man. Dude, oh, I got all kinds of good stuff on the shelf over there, man. I got all kinds of good stuff on my bookshelf. Yeah, you never know what you're going to learn, dude. This is an excellent book. I also have... Here, I have this Bad Melon Farmer on my desk. Hard copy. Well, paperback, but, you know, whatever. What else we got over here? Hold on. What else we got? I got plenty of good stuff over here. This isn't a book, but it's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. What your boy got? Fundamentals of Aerodynamics, Rocket Ranch, Science of Pre-Flight Aeronautics for high schoolers. There we go. Ooh, this one's good. Aqualex, have you seen this one? Have you seen this book before? I do believe I have book recommendations on the website. That's just a ream of paper? Oh, no, it's not. I have the EIS for the X-33 program. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's kind of a long read. Light reading. Where did you get that? Came in the mail, dude. I'm serious. It showed up at my P.O. box. Very nice. Any pictures? Yeah, there's some. It's mostly about areas affected. It's just an EIS like starships, just a bunch of top downs of like sound and stuff like that. And where the thing was, the X-33 was supposed to do suborbital test flights, and it was supposed to land. It was supposed to land at the Dugway Proving Grounds. It was going to launch from Edwards and land at Dugway, so they could test the thermal protection system. Yeah. There's more books over there. Was Torrey Bruno involved in the X-33? Yes, he worked on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this book rules. You guys want to learn about rockets? This one, Modern Engineering for Design of Liquid Propellant Rocket Engines, Dieter Heusel and David Huang. This book fricks hard if you like rockets. It's really good. All right, Dan, I'll see you, buddy. So this and rocket propulsion elements, these two are the ones. That's the ones you want if you really want to learn this stuff. Spoiler alert, guys. There's a lot of math in here. It's a lot. There's a lot of math. Same with RPE. Do you have ignition? I think that's down in the house. I don't have it here. I don't have it in the shop. Wang! Pay attention. I was distracted by the enormous flying willy. Anyway, let's see. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. SpaceX posted this today. Guys, this one also gets loud, so headphone users. Headphone users. Headphone users. You're trust me, you're gonna want to turn the volume down. This gets really loud. That fade to black is unacceptable. Dang it. The fade to black is unacceptable, SpaceX. Come on. Dan, why? Where was the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. Oh, man. Wait, we can still kind of see it faded out in the video. Hold up. Oh, they freeze framed it. They these mother truckers, dude. Oh, come on. But yeah, wait, Dan was in here? No, Dan wasn't in here. Dan wasn't. I don't think unless he is out there, in which case hold on. Give me 1 second. Unless Dan is out there. And if he is out there, well, here, this is all I have to say for show. Hi, Dan. Just kidding, man. You're awesome. Anyway. What were we talking about? Sorry. Yeah, the super heavy booster came down and it did that, it did a 5-engine landing burn. So we're not going to have the sound on this time. I'll turn that sound down just in case. So it went 13 engines, guys, down to 5. If you see, the 3 center are lit, and then there's 2 on either side. This is a prototype of Block 3 booster, a Block 3 booster landing trajectory, as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure that's what Dan said on the cast. And then they went from 5 engines down to 3. what I wasn't expecting, and I mean, it had to have been on purpose. They shut down the outer two, and Super Heavy just kind of sat there. It just kind of sat there with 3 engines just kind of hovering, which is, I will say this, that is insanely stable for something that big. Oh, yeah. Also, there was a shot looking up the business end of Super Heavy during the cast, and I guess they don't. I guess you just fire it and it brings everything back true. Yeah, it's just standing there menacingly. Yeah, some of those nozzles got bent somehow. Not too bad, but they did. And when they fired it, it just kind of boinked back into position, I guess. I mean, the flight seemed okay to me. It seemed fine. I mean, I can't speak to the copper cooling channels inside of this thing, but, you know, it's probably fine. They were bent by the aero forces from the last catch on Flight 8. Huh. That's awesome. Is that the one that went out during relight? No, all the outer ring of 20 performed fine. They didn't have it. They didn't have an engine go out, guys. No engines went out on this flight. They only had one of the inner ring of 10 failed to relight during the boost back. So yeah, those engines were bent from the previous catch, and SpaceX just sent it, and but I mean, it worked. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, I read a lot of that book that we were talking about. I don't think that firing an engine with a bent nozzle is advised. I wouldn't, like, you know, if somebody was like, hey, Jay, I want to fire my liquid fuel engine and the nozzle's bent, should I do it? I'd be like, no, you probably shouldn't do that. I wouldn't. No, seriously, you'd have to worry about metal fatigue inside of the nozzle. If you fire it, right, and you bend the thing back into position, you're going to warp the copper channels inside of the cooling mechanism for the nozzle. Because ever notice the nozzles are made out of metal, they don't melt? It's because propellant's flowing through them. There's little milled copper channels in it. That's also the other reason why Raptors, when they decide to not work correctly, they burn green. Because it's the liner inside of the engine being used as an ablative heat sink. Oops. Copper burns green. So yeah, those cooling channels they're not delicate, but they're pretty delicate. They're pretty delicate. I mean, it's pretty delicate. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that again. Just putting it out there. You probably don't want to do that. Would Raptor 3 likely have a shelf life for the number of flights they can do? Yeah, Vargon, I think that's fair to say. SpaceX simplified Raptor 3. You know, we talked about fluid management and thermal protection systems for fluid management and thermal protection system reasons. But Raptor 3 is really simplified to be able to be mass producible. That's the real big one. Flanges, bolts, bolting flanges together, that stuff takes time. Welding, you only need to do it once. Now, if you're welding all the plumbing together, obviously that's going to take a little bit longer because you're welding everything together than a guy with a freaking ratchet going, right? But it makes it so you know, the welder's going to take a little bit longer, but you could just keep mass producing. You just keep cranking these out. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that Raptor 3 will have a shelf life. I mean, every form of propulsion has a shelf life, dude. Jet engines have a shelf life. They can only go for so long before you have to start changing parts. Same with your car. Or your car could just be a gigantic pile of poo-poo like mine and just blow the transmission cooler line going down the highway. You know? Or it could be magical, like pause attraction on a 72 Plymouth. How does pause attraction on 72 Plymouth work? I don't know, man. It just does. Yeah, exactly, Agwalix. Every form of propulsion has a shelf life, dude. So yeah, I would say Bargon. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, absolutely. Now, what the shelf life for a Raptor 3 is? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, let's think about it. Raptor 3 is also designed to be swapped out really quickly, right? So I would say that SpaceX is projected, like, now I'm really thinking about this. Hold on a second. I mean, okay, what's SpaceX's ideal scenario for Super Heavy? What's the ideal? The ideal is that it launches multiple times a day. So let's just say 2 launches a day. Screw it. 2 launches a day from a Super Heavy, right? That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of that will get Raptors to will get the booster to 30 flights. 30 flights. That is basically the life leader for Falcon 9 right now. What is it, 1067? That's the life leader. That would happen in 2 weeks if you're flying 2 times a day with a Super Heavy. That anything else, right? So after 1 week of flying 2 times a day, you're at 14. Right after 2 weeks, you're at 28, which is basically, yeah. I had to guess probably 2 years. Dude, that thing is nuts now that I'm thinking about it, man. Because, yeah, it's got to be, the shelf life has to be up there. It has to be up there. That thing has to be way over-engineered because, you know, you're going through fatigue every time you fire it. Like, yeah, dude, that's got to have a really long shelf life. And on top of that, be able to be produced pretty freaking quick. You need 33 of those per booster. That's a lot. And propulsion is already your long lead item, guys. That's already the thing that takes the most time by a long shot. What's Starship without its engines but a freaking grain silo? You know what I mean? Or a really nice water tower. 1,000 thermal protection system tiles a day in the broadcast seems like rapid replacement is being built in. Correct. Economies of scale works, guys. You have to figure out the point between where it's worth refurbishing one lightly versus just producing a new one as far as shelf life, shorter if it's flown. Well, yeah, MCRs, dude, like, that's the thing. Raptors are not really designed to be taken apart. There are certain pieces, I'm pretty sure you could take, well, you have to be able to take the impellers out, right? Like, that has to be removable somehow. How else are you going to get it in there? Unless they welded the damn thing shut with the impeller inside, which... Can I look at a picture of Raptor 3? Hold on. Where is Raptor 3 from the latest cast? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting the playback for the cast, guys. Give me 1 second. Here we go. What are they talking about, Raptor? Give me one. Sorry, that's still funny to me. It's right here.
So until that's complete, we'll be running operations from Pad 2, which will be coming online very soon. All right, let's go over to Hawthorne, where Tyler's ready to talk a little Starlink.
I thought it was... Maybe it was T-minus 12 minutes. It's probably over here. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Let me see. Dude, that doesn't look like that's what I'm saying. Like, this thing doesn't look like it's able to be easily taken apart. I'm pretty sure that Raptor engines are designed to be manufactured quickly and not necessarily serviced quickly. But you're gonna make up for that with a lot of them. They're gonna be warehouses of these things that if you need to swap out an engine, you know. Dude, that thing's nuts, dude. That's ridiculous. I mean, keep in mind, guys, this is still a developmental engine. There's still developmental instrumentation on it. That's what all these other wires and all this other crap is.
Yeah, we got it right in the middle there. All right, and then powering it all, Raptor 3. Looks radically different, just straight up radical. Tons of major changes. It's coming in higher thrust, dramatic reduction in parts. Tons of control mechanisms moved inside. Our McGregor teams built some additional stands like this one, which essentially is the bottom of a super heavy booster. Lets us do gimbal or steering tests. So that's been really exciting to see. We've also been getting vacuum versions of Raptor 3 into test. The first flight engines are already in production and are about to start acceptance testing for Flight 12. So a lot of exciting changes coming, and we're getting ready to mass produce everything, including one of the really key contributors to that rapid reusability, the heat shield tiles. Let's jump over to Tyler real quick in Hawthorne, who's got a really cool look at what's happening with tiles in Florida.
The gimbal thing, guys, was sped up. It was sped up. I'm pretty sure. The original post has the highest resolution view. Third photo. Absolutely agreed on what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Thank you. Yeah, that's a DFI engine. They showed that. Bro, dude, that is impressive. Yeah, okay, so look. So Space Engine, see right here? See whatever this flange is right here, and whatever's going on in this area here, I'd assume it's some inlet or something. See the bolts up there? This thing can split in half like an egg, and that's how you get the impellers out. And that's about it. But yeah, there's going to be downtime taking this whole damn thing apart. You're not taking this apart down here. If anything down here breaks, throw it away. It's all welded. Everything's welded together. You're not taking that apart. Does the seam look welded to you? This seam does, Aqualex. My guess is that the flange for this would be your LOX impeller would be up here. The flange is up here. It's like on top of it. Does that make sense? They don't have that anymore. It's welded. Their trucker. Hot gas manifold. Yeah. Gimbal was in real time. Electronic thrust vector control is shockingly quick. That was real time. I can't believe something like that freaking exists. What a nutty thing. Now that gives you access to the injector. The impellers are further up. Yeah, they're up here somewhere, right? Circular things on the top of the oxygen pump are the main oxygen valves. And that's where the second stage LOX impeller ends. The first stage of the impellers above that. Yeah. Your gas. That's your gas manifold. I'm sorry, I'm remembering it off the top of my head, dude. That's. Yeah, dude. Okay, the point that we're trying to get at here, guys, is that this thing, if something breaks, take it off, send it back to the factory or something. Send it back to McGregor or send it wherever, and just put another one on. This thing is not this is not something that you're quote unquote field fixing. You know what I mean? Raptor's built that way on purpose. It's like it's designed to be it's designed to be built fast. It's designed to make a lot of them. Don't go chasing waterfalls. But yeah, I mean, You know, we're just thinking about the flight rate. Like, you thinking about multiple times a day, dude. I mean, that's... That's 720 flights in a year, flying multiple times a day. Oh. Actually, it's 730, but... That's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous. I mean, guys, that's where you want to fly multiple times a day, and that's just saying 2 times a day, right? 730 flights a year. I would, okay, armchair engineer EJ over here would design that thing to be fired 1,000 times, no problem. Like 1,000 times, no issues. Because that would be good enough. If something burps, something goes wrong, swap another one out. But 1,000, yeah, that's where I'd be aiming, somewhere around there. I mean, you do a similar thing with jet engines. You could do a bit of field maintenance, but if it's broken, then you take it off and replace it with another. Dude, airline-like operations, Sawyer, that's what they're doing. That, like, you know, people think... like there's other companies, there's other rocket launch companies, dudes, that, you know, they're like, oh, we want to achieve airline-like operations. And that might be like, you know, having a 5-digit serial number on their rocket stage or something, or, you know, some other nonsense gimmick, right? SpaceX says, you know, we want to do airline-like operations. And then we see engineering that backs up exactly what they're saying right here. Like, that's trying to make Starship into a damn airplane. Yeah, Flykin, of course. Yeah, Space Engineer, you're quite popular in here, by the way. I may or may not have shared some of your posts on X on here over, you know, over the course of a little. You're quite the popular one in here, my friend. People know you. You have many leather-bound books, and your apartment smells of rich mahogany. Main difference is the supplier owns the engines, because airliners don't own the engines. They rent them. That's so strange. What do you think Raptor 4 is going to be? What else can they improve on? My guess, Ari, is that Raptor 4 is going to be based off of what they learned about trying to hit their, you know, the proverbial 1,000 firings without breaking a rocket engine. I like my Raptors blown with a nice Chianti. After Hours Hearts of Iron? Oh, I don't know, man. Been meaning to hang around here more often. It's fun to listen to y'all in the background. Yeah. Try to get into, you know, not a deep dive every day, but try to get into some technical details here. Known to party from time to time. Do we have an estimate of time before the first flight of V3? Oh, this is a hot button one, Brandon. The McGregor Raptor test table will get full like that one time. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Guys, I am ever the optimist. I think that SpaceX is internally trying to get this thing off in December. However, Dad, before you start typing, put the keyboard down. Everybody tries to get the thing off before the end of the year, or get some kind of crazy milestone done in the aerospace industry. Everybody tries to do that, and it never happens. It's going good, Andrew. Yeah. Who do you think Matthews is right now? I don't know, but Matthews will be done by the end of the year. I think we'll probably end up seeing a Block 3 flight in January or February, somewhere in there. Last couple, please. Please. On top of launch control, how do you control multiple flights at once? Multiple mission controls, dude. Elon said catch net spring. Exactly. He said springtime for a ship catch. Keep in mind, Elon time, etc., etc. Think about that for a second. You know, springtime, what does that mean? January, February, March, April, somewhere in that time frame. Which means if they're not going to catch on flight 12. They're not doing that. They're not catching on flight 12. So that means there's a Starship flight in there other than the ship catch. January, February, dude. Pretty sure. I mean, once again, just speculation. I don't know. There are voices in your head that tell you to stare at clouds for 4 hours. Nice. Question. Starship V4, stretched or larger core? Stretching is an easier thing to do. Lengthening a rocket is one of the easier things in terms of like requalifying components. It's one of the easier things that you can do for not a lot of extra work. They did it with Falcon 9, right? I think Flight 12 will be Indian Ocean again. Just a V3 test over there. 13 will be in the Gulf, 14 catch. Shaw, if I wasn't going to say it the way I said it, I would have said it that way. Yeah. So if I stretch the 777X, I'll profit. That seems to be working out for Boeing, yeah. I think they might be testing both stages by the end of the year, but definitely not flying. Yeah, Max, I think that's fair. I think internally they're aiming for the end of the year, but SpaceX takes the impossible and makes it late, right? Like, Flight 13, 14 will be a catch. I'm 50-50 for ship catch. I don't know, guys. After what I saw on Monday, I'm kind of sold, dude. After what I saw on Monday, I'm sold, man. Like, I get it. There's parts flying off. There's holes in the TPS. Your LOX tank is leaking. There's a fire on the top of the vehicle. All that is induced from not putting tiles on. Now, send them all to the Indian Ocean. Gulf splashdown is operationally a pain in the butt due to the proximity to Mexico. See the goose chase for 13's app section. I had a feeling that that's why they were doing that, dude, because, yeah, Mexico is getting unhappy. So, you think they'll go right for catch? Because, dude, there's no way the next flight's going to go for catch. No way. That's an Indian Ocean job all day, right? After that, though, maybe. You know what, MCRS? I wanted to know what the what that big recovery ship out off the coast of Australia, the one that you were posting about, the Sienna Kappa or whatever it's called, that one with the the deck, the aft deck that's big enough to hold that on it. Next one to the Indian Ocean. Given that goes well, I'd put my money on a Flight 13 catch. God, that's gonna be magical. I mean, dude, after what I saw here, the cross-range capability was the final component that I was looking for. The fact that it can do that, dude, makes this thing so cool. Hello?
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I'll say this. Starship isn't a perfect solution for exploring the cosmos. But it's what humanity needs right now to get back to the moon and go to Mars.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Do you think there will be the same setbacks like the V2 first flights? No, Brandon, judging off what I saw here, SpaceX, I think SpaceX is going to go a little hard on the testing with V3, with the V3 stuff. They're really going to put that stuff through its paces before they launch. They don't want that happening again. That's just my opinion. I mean, that's what I would do. Cozy and Toasty with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, Flykin, right? Elon tweeted that they want 2 good flights before the catch. Interesting. 2 good flights of what? Block 2, Block 3? What do we think it's spoiled? What about the ship catch attempt on Tower 1? I think that's Falcons. I think that's what's going to happen. You will not convince me otherwise. Only Elon saying no, we're not doing that is going to convince me otherwise. The first Block 3 ship that they go to catch, they're going to catch it. They're going to redo the chopsticks on the first tower. They're going to redo them to make them stubby like the ones on the second pad. And they're going to refit it to catch a ship, and that's what's going to catch a ship. Because if it falls and blows up, who cares? You're replacing that anyway. Playing with house money. There's a lot of assumptions that the new booster will just work perfectly right away. Best case, first 2 land in the water to prove itself. Yeah. I would say that Flight 12 is probably going to be Indian Ocean with a Block 3 ship and a booster landing doing that same, 13 to 5 to 3 landing out in the Gulf. Basically, the first Block 3 flight is going to be an exact copy of this. After that, though, woo! It's going to get hot. The CM Thema, yeah, absolutely huge. Not sure why they opted to use it over the other usual vessels. I think this one may be more of a time optimization to get the ship all the way back to Brownsville after it's been towed to Australia. That vessel has the capability to carry it all the way across the Pacific. And that's been the one missing link the whole year. I've been tracking the vessels in Australia. I've been following your tracking of the vessels in Australia, dude. So, what do you think, Space Engineer? Do you think they got the aft section of this bad boy? Because we know the front got blown away when it tipped over. I saw it fly off and got removed from the environment. You know what I mean? Is that oxidation? Yes. It's from the tiles that they punched out, Creation. Yeah, stainless steel, when it goes through re-entry, it rusts. Yeah, I know. Weird, right? Oh, the Seabass animation Ordon is fantastic. Why did they cut the fireball part? They cut the fireball part because journalism outfits that's not like Interstellar Gateway, NSF, Spaceflight Now, Space News, What About It, Every Day, Marcus House, Scott Manley, people that aren't those people commentate about this and say, well, another SpaceX rocket blew up, and that I don't know what that says about SpaceX's future. They might go bankrupt. SpaceX doesn't want people posting that nonsense. Yourself, yeah, right. Now, returning with nothing. They're a couple hours out from return, but they didn't spend long out there. They wouldn't return a ship that was fully intact. Can't tow it anyway. I'm gaslighting myself into thinking V3 won't blow up on tip over. We can all dream. Can all dream, man. I'm still very impressed by the cross-range capability this thing has. It really flies. Admiral, dude, I had no words. That was to see Starship fly like the space shuttle. Like, let's be clear. The space shuttle already flew like garbage. But to see this gigantic grain silo doing what the thing that flies like garbage was doing is absolute. Like, my brain was unable to parse that at the time. I'm just like, that's nice. That's nice. I was like, that thing is, it's flying. It's freaking flying, dude. What the actual frick is going on here? They steered it to a precise target. It did a heading alignment maneuver. You gotta be kidding me. Grain silo better than spaceplane. What am I supposed to say, David? Right? Like, do we know how much cross range it has? It's enough. Space engineer, can I show Flykin the trajectory post? Can I show him that? Is that cool? Can I show it on stream? Dude, Flykin, you gotta see it. You want to see the cross range capability? I'll show you. All right, so Space Engineer extrapolated the trajectory that Starship took based off of the webcast, you know, out over the Indian Ocean, how it went around and landed. And then he superimposed that over Brownsville. Over, like, with the endpoint being the pads. Check this out. How's that for cross-range capability? That is gnarly, dude. Dude, it's going to fly around Port Mansfield, come down the channel, split Port Isabel and South Padre, and land back at the pad. You've got to be kidding me, dude. 60 kilometers across range. That's pretty good considering it's not the space shuttle, dude. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, dude. No, so Space Engineer, I showed them that post, right? And where I was going with that is like having that type of cross-range capability, even 60-kilometer cross-range, and that's with a prototype, right? You could conceivably do more with that big of a surface area flying through space, right? Having that extra cross-range capability added into Starship's capability really, really feeds that whole rapid turnaround thing. If you're trying to do multiple flights a day, you're not going to want to wait for freaking orbital mechanics to wait for the trajectory to go over the landing site and just have that Starship just sit up there and loiter after it's refueled another thing and then come back down, right? You're going to want it to spend the least amount of time up there that it needs to, just do what it needs to do, come back down and land. With cross-range capability, even 60-kilometer cross-range capability, dude, heck, if it's 100, you could do it once around. Like, I don't think that would happen, right? But instead of waiting 10 orbits, you could wait like 2, maybe 3. Minimal amount of loiter time up there needed. That is a big component to rapid reuse. That's why it's so cool. That's why that's so damn important. Can you imagine if, like, you had to time it so, like, your airplane, like, you say you were flying from, like, Los Angeles to Sydney, right? You have to time it. Like, sometimes Australia wouldn't be there. Like, the plane had to go in a straight line, and if that straight line doesn't cross the airport, then you can't do anything. No, the plane has to be able to fly around and line up with the runway and land. That's kind of important, right? Like, the top of the turn to the north is 35 kilometers up. It could double, maybe even triple that distance from that point alone. Boxer buddy, your buddy been working next to a Liebherr 60-ton crane all day. It's a beast. That's awesome, dude. No go-arounds, though. There was no go-arounds for the shuttle. They never had a problem there. That would be an amazing view from Margaritaville. Oh, I gotta ring up NSF. I gotta ring up NSF. We gotta go. I think if I saw a Starship fly up from over the horizon around Brownsville and then kind of fly past SPI to get to the pad, and I was watching it from the Margaritaville hotel roof where NSF does the coverage, right, when I'm down there, I think I might crap my pants. Yep. Like, I'm not sure my brain would be able to handle that. I think I'd crap my pants. Like, that'd just crap my pants. I'd just be like, oh, oops, you know, I gotta go. Still bring diapers. You know, that's a good idea. Nasty. Oh, hey, Duke, how you doing? We weren't talking about pooping our pants in here or something. Thanks for the raid. Hey, where are you going? Dude, come back. Sorry to put you on the spot, guy, but how's the Margaritaville hotel? Is it clean? It's a nice hotel, Fluffy. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's not the Plaza, you know. It's not the Plaza in New York, but it's good, man. Margaritaville is cool. Fun time. There's a lot of places to eat, a lot of places to swim, a lot of places to drink. It's great. Anyway, Duke, thanks for the raid, man. How was the stationeersing? I mean, if you're going to poop some pants, they better be your own. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, Duke, here was our pertinent subject matter. So, if you saw this coming down, not landing, not coming down at you, but coming down like next to you, you saw that? A starship coming back from space? Would there be poopy expletives or poopy pants? I need to know. I must know. I don't know, Fluffy, maybe. MCRS, I've been messing around with some wide-angle views and 360 shots in this environment I've set up with the trajectory. The first-person views of it are genuinely insane. It screams overhead SPI at 15 kilometers at the southernmost point. That's badass, dude. What the f...
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Yeah, Enco, yeah, I'll do that. Chimp, what's up, dude? 31-month resub. Nothing blew up. You burned some wires, ran out of suit filters, nearly choked, the usual. Okay, stationeers in a nutshell. Why? Oh, poop! Yeah, I would... That would be fun. That'd be fun to see. Fluffy, give this up to Duke.
This is space. I'm in space.
Dude, no way. No way that's real. So this is Battlefield. This is Battlefield 6. Account banned. You've been... Not me. This is just a screenshot. You've been caught trying to use a third-party software, Cronus Zen scripts, on Battlefield 6 servers. Please uninstall and go try that in Call of Duty. Battlefield? More like Chattlefield, am I right? Dude. I want Block 3. I want that. I need Block 3 in my life. I don't want to wait. Dang it. You think they'll build a tower with north-facing chopsticks at Starbase? EJ's personal wild theory, Seismic, I think they'll just turn the chopsticks in the direction that the ship's going to come from. Maybe another, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's possible. I mean, the Pad 1 chopsticks they're basically facing northeast if I'm thinking about this correctly. Hang on a minute, Chief. No, that's good footage, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. But see, they can turn the sticks. There's nothing saying you couldn't catch the ship like that with the chopsticks pointed in a different direction. In fact, I think that's what they'll do. I think they'll... Okay. Idiot question, or idiot theory from EJ here. Those chopsticks have about 100... They're shaped like this if you're looking at them from the top. It looks like kind of an obtuse angle. Like they're about 120 degrees. So this is the pin that they move on, right? So they can do this, right? Like they can lower, they can pick up a ship, stack it. They have about 120 degrees of movement. So like the sticks can open, right? Or they can close like this, or one can stay open and one can close, right? Or you could have it over here, right? You could have the stick all the way over there as ship come in and land, and this one will move, and that's it. I think that that's not just for like picking up and stacking stuff, guys. You're going to have to... So another thing that you have to deal with Starship, especially if you want to fly it multiple times a day, right? The wind always isn't going to be preferable, right? It might be raining. It might be windy. There might be storms. SpaceX wants it to achieve like an air... They want to fly it like an airplane. Airplanes can take off in a storm if the wind's blowing in the right direction. I think that the sticks will move if, you know, I mean, obviously you're not going to, they're not going to like have a hurricane and be like, yep, fly it, you know, like obviously. But, you know, the wind, I've been down to Brownsville, been there many times. The wind off Boca Chica Beach comes from the Gulf and goes towards the towers, right? And it comes from different directions, but most of the time it comes from the Gulf, right? I think these will turn. So Starship has no, reverse that. I think it'll turn so it could turn into a headwind. So when you land with a headwind. I know it sounds stupid, but I think that's what's going on. If you look at the Flight 7 catch versus the Flight 8 catch, Super Heavy on Flight 8 came in from over here. Flight 7 came in from over here. Like, they came in from different angles. Like, they had the sticks open on one side and had sticks open on the other side. Go look at them again. I saw it, dude. The Super Heavy came in from different angles. One came in from, like, the south, and Flight 7 came in, like, straight on, and Flight 8 came in from the south. Jack has footage. My buddy Jack Vire has footage of Flight 8 coming in and the boosters like slewing sideways when it went into the sticks. I seriously think they're going to point it out for different headwinds. Oh. Nice. But yeah, who knows, dude? It's also crazy. Block 3 adds 100 tons of propellant by making the tanks longer and the engine bay shorter while keeping the same total height. I can't believe this thing exists, dude. I can't believe it exists. I just... Wow. That's pretty cool, man. This thing's pretty cool. Hey, Space Engineer, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Dude, I do this almost every day. Come in here and just talk spaceships. And then I go, you know, before this we play Kerbal, and then after we do whatever. Flight 8's booster catch scared the heck out of you live. Yeah. So I was watching it from Margaritaville, so I really didn't see it until Jack showed me his remotes, and I'm like, is that supposed to do that? And then I learned later from people that work at SpaceX that, yeah, they did that on purpose. They had it come in at a different angles. They had to, like, slew sideways into the sticks. You got to be kidding me. Still Spartan, 70-month resub. Nice. Who's going to win the World Series? I want to say the Brewers, but it's probably going to be the Dodgers. I will say this. The Mariners are doing pretty good, but I don't think Seattle or Toronto can beat Milwaukee or Los Angeles. I don't think so. Yarg, I will say this. I think the Mariners are our best shot based off of Game 1 and Game 2. Five to 2, bottom of the third. What happened? I think it's going to be an NL team, and I don't want to say that, but bro, it's the Dodgers. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's the Dodgers. It's like $400 million payroll. Like, what are you gonna do? I was watching it, waiting for the ship to come over the horizon over here in Florida. As I expected, it blew up again. Mood was already tense. Absolutely vindicated about 30 seconds later when it blew up dead center in my camera view. Nice. I'll admit, dude, Flight 7 and Flight 8, when that thing popped, man, that, like, the rain of, like, re-entry over the Turks and Caicos is beautiful. I mean, you don't want that, but, dude, what a shot, you know? I want this wood so bad. Yeah. It was very pretty. I mean, not ideal, but very pretty. Not great PR, but pretty. Yeah, I mean, look what the media running away with that, XJ. They ran away with that, and they're like, SpaceX is screwed. Elon's gonna run out of money or something. Like, sure, right? Like, that's why SpaceX isn't showing the explosions. That's why they're not showing in their cut footage. They don't show Super Heavy popping, or they don't show, Ship 38 tipping over and the front flying off, right? Like, it's so pretty and much brighter to the eyes than it comes across in any camera view. I'd believe that. What are we doing for after hours? Oh, I want to play Battlefield. You normally would be summer car. Guys, my racing rig is broken. I got to fix that. I can't drive in summer car, and I'm not doing it with the keyboard and mouse. Not with that save. With that being said, I do need to get out here early tomorrow morning to fix the stupid racing rig. Either that or Max, we could play. If you guys want to do another GTA night, that would be very useful for me right now. Or go weld it. It's not just welding it, XJ. I want to make some upgrades to the rig. I don't like how I sit in the thing. You already have stuff prepped for AC. Okay, I will make it a priority to get out here early tomorrow morning and get that thing under control. No, fellas, okay, quick racing rig conversation. We're gonna wrap up space news here in a little bit, and then we'll probably, yeah, I wanna play Battlefield. I'm sorry, I want to play Battlefield. Just let me get it out of my system. I'll get sick of it because I'll get angry at it. I'll start getting too mad at it on stream, and then I'll be like, no, I'm not going to play this anymore. I get too mad at it on stream. Just let me get it out of my system, all right? I got to play some FPSs from time to time, man. I have to. Alas, this night I'm going to head to bed. Sweet dreams, all right, Duke. Hey, thanks for the raid, man. Good night. So, fellas, what I want to do with the racing rig is I want to make the seat cushion adjustable. I'm going to build out a threaded rod system with Heim joints to make it so the rig, I can change the angle of the seat. Not the seat back. The seat, it's a car seat, so it can already recline, and it has great lumbar support, I'll say. I want to make it so I can tilt the seat up and down. So, like, if this is the seat, like, right, you put your butt right here, I want to make the thumb part be able to move. And I want to put the whole thing, I want to build a bracket system, put the whole thing on a hinge. Like a big heavy duty hinge at the back so you could tilt it. So like if we're doing formula racing, right? If we're doing formula racing, you can bring your feet up and do this, right? Or if we're just racing a regular car, you put your feet down, right? The off season is almost here. What are the odds you could get Scary in-house to help with the new rig? I don't know. Do threaded rods with a jam nut and a Heim joint. That's exactly what I'm going to do, XJ. Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. What I was thinking. I just got to kind of draw it out in my head. There's an independent hardware store that's not far from my house that has Heim joints. I can get them. So like, it's not something I have to order from McMaster Car or whatever. That, and I need to weld the racing rig together as one chassis. It came in two pieces, and then there's like a bar that you have to slide them together and then tighten knobs down. I'm getting rid of all that. I'm going to go buy tubing, and then I'm just going to make it one solid piece. You're going to add fans. And it actually spoiled. You know what else? You know what I want? You know what else I want? A cell phone holder and a cup holder. Not even kidding. Yep. I'm serious. Not even kidding. I want my phone, like, I'll have my phone there so I can check it real quick and just get back. I want a damn cup holder in my race car. Is Battlefield back up again? I think so. Need a wireless charger too? I can do that. Max, so IMO definitely do add adjustability, but I wouldn't stress about making it super easily adjustable. I've never seen anybody change the rig config for much different cars. Just focus on making it possible to get a single really good ergonomic position and just leave it. Okay, so full disclosure, Max, the jam nuts in a threaded rod with the type of adjustability I'm talking about basically means that. That's going to be putting the back on a hinge, right? Makes it really easy to make. And then I just adjust it, tighten the jam nut, leave it there. I could adjust it for other things. But if you think about it, having a wide range of adjustability means I don't have to sit there and prototype a million freaking brackets to get the angle just right. The adjustability right out of the gates is kind of just a bonus. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the idea. That, and I would... What also would be cool would be more adjustability in the pedal cluster. That would be kind of nice too. For this one, model it in the software you have. Hellfish, this is a project that needs to get done by Friday. Nah, I'm good. No modeling. Dude, I can make the brackets. So I have a bunch of square tubing in the shop from making the lattice, the jigs for the car. What, you're not throwing one of those on there? I mean... we could. Yeah, I know, Max. The pedals, if, we want to bring it up so your feet are up like this, right? So your feet are up like that. The pedal cluster needs to be up there because this is how Formula One drivers drive, right? The steering wheel's basically at their knees and the pedals are like straight forward. They're like right here. How would we do that? How would we make that type of linear adjustment with the pedals? Whatever. We'll talk about it tomorrow, dude. I'll get out here early. I will get out here. I can't guarantee a time. It's gonna be before Kerbal. But we'll draft it out and I'll figure it out, man. Put it on an arc. Yeah. Just aim at a comfy GT style config. Similar to what Scary's poor CAD Porsche. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's a comfy GT3 setup, you're not gonna need much adjustment on the pedals, dude. What would be a cool thing to do, Max, is to put the pedal. So my pedals already can pivot. They can already pivot, but they have bolt holes. So you can adjust it like 4 ways to 1, and that's it. What would be cool is to put custom brackets on the front and do the same threaded rod thing, right? So I could theoretically change the angle. Just change the angle. Change it as much as you want. We could do that. Oh, the other thing is I'm welding in plates for caster wheels, so I could pick the dang racing setup up like a wheelbarrow. Like we could pick it up like this, and then I could move it into position. Yeah. I just got to get the Heim joints and some threaded rod, that's everywhere. We can find that. That ain't no problem. That's why I can't guarantee. Well, what time is it? What day is it? It's Wednesday. So tomorrow we'll figure it out. Figure it out with the racing rig, and then Friday I'll get the parts and try to get it done in time. I mean, Aqualux, yeah. If I set it up for a threaded rod, it could easily be replaceable with Heim joints and an actuator. So I could just... That would be actually super freaking cool, man. I love the racing seat. I wish I had the skills to make your own. Get the skills. Get the skills, dude. What do you mean I wish you had this? Just get the skills. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do this until I decided I wanted to learn. Ephemeral, just go do it. You can go to Harbor Freight and get a welder for like $100. Adjust into racing position. Yeah, exactly. Snibbles. It'll be like Dragon. You're a go for seat rotation. Ready to race, turd nuggets. You know, like his first welds were painful to watch. Yeah. Set it up for this style caster. Let me see. Is that an adjustable? Oh, those would be, we can make that easy. That ain't no problem. Are we gonna electronically actuate those? So I just flip a switch and just, and the thing just. Are we scope creeping my racing rig? Is that what's going on? I finally made it to rescuing some Kerbals. Right, Trin, that's good. Joke, I've seen plenty of guys who weld for a living say the Harbor Freight welder is perfectly fine. It's fine for home use, Zonku. I have one. Not my Lincoln 180. That's for like making cars and stuff. That's the MIG welder. That's the good stuff. But if you're just making a racing rig, bro, go down to the hardware store, get some square tube, and frickin' buy a $100 welder. Easy peasy. It's just a flex welder. You'll be fine. Especially if you're welding thicker tube stock, you'll be fine. It's not gonna blow through. You'll be good. Put a gyro and connect it to the computer to auto level it. Nice. No, they're ratchet adjusters. The key thing for longevity is taking weight off the wheels. Long term, I want to set up a rig with a power adjustable seat out of a car. Oh, X-Wing, that's easy. Yeah, dude, yeah, we could do that. That's no problem. You just need a 12-volt battery. Actually, what I would do is I'd get a motorcycle battery because you don't need something with that heavy duty. Motorcycle battery and a relay. That'll do you right. Heck, you might not even need the relay, depending on what type of amperage the seat motors need. Phaedra says 10 years ago I couldn't machine metal, cast metal, or 3D print. Now I can try, and you start learning. There you go. That's right, man. Phaedra says that's what I did, dude. I just picked up a welder and started doing it. My first welds sucked. They were so bad. I'm good at it now. It's getting the hand movement down. That's the thing. Welding is like drawing. You just got to keep doing it. You just got to keep doing it until you get better at it. I wouldn't think of overcomplicate the rig right now. We have a long off season soon for big changes. Yeah, I think minimum viable is just getting the stupid seat working. I have to say drawing, Flykin, because if I say drawing in my native tongue, there's an H somehow put in there, and I don't know why that's a thing. Drawing. Yeah. Drawing. Can't say that word. Sawhorse. Can't say that word either. EJ, over break, you might as well make the frame from scratch. Yeah, some words my mouth just can't say. Then you really should model it. If we're gonna scratch build the thing, yes, absolutely. Sawhorse. There we go. Cheap and simple, but have you considered expensive and complicated? You drive a hard bargain. X-Wing, okay, full disclosure, the project is still a few years off, but I want to build a 360-degree full-view flight sim. Imagine an F-16 cockpit inside of a bubble and project the images on the inside. Yeah, you can do that. And if you need help wiring your adjustable seat up, I got you. Yeah, we could do that. Your Boston is showing. Where? Where? This is why I have the words are hard emote over there. All right. Speaking of my native Boston showing, how about we play some Battlefield for some after hours, eh? I would like to remind everybody that after hours is not family friendly. There will be cursing. I apologize for this inconvenience in advance. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the Space and Rocket review. I'm going to jog the YouTube VOD. Not going to be a long break this time. Just to switch the YouTube VOD up. Yeah. No MSC. The racing rig is broken right now, Space Gnome. MSC will return next week at the very earliest. Guys, I will make it a priority to get out here and fix the racing rig to as simply as I possibly can. Okay. With that being said, stand by for a momentary loss of signal if you're watching the VOD. I'll see you in the next one. If you're watching the streams right now, give me 5 minutes. Less than that. Probably a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Got Battlefield, man. Let's roll.